Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good morning, everyone. This is Andres Soklal of Extra Time TV, and we're here for the early morning kickoff of Trinidad Tobago versus Gabon for the watch along. As you can see here, it's pretty early. I'm up, I'm perky, and I'm going to get straight into it. If you're just joining us, I know a lot of you on the commute to head to the office, to Port of Spain, wherever you all are. It is 6:03 a.m. So right now, they're calling out the team sheets for both teams. Gabon, and I'm going to try to load up the formations for Trinidad and Tobago when I get a chance. So like I said, I know a lot of you are on your way to work, probably listening on your audio devices, wherever you are. Be sure to log in wherever you are, like, subscribe, and all those things. Follow us on our socials down there, and continue to support the channel. We have the match preview as well. For those of you who want to take that in, maybe at halftime or afterwards, you can. And we're about to do the kickoff. So let me make sure, as always, that I get the time right. I always want to make sure and get this correct. So let's do that, folks. It's a lot of juggling. So both teams huddling at the front of the center circle. As you all know, we lost the first game, and it wasn't a great result for us. It was not. Trinidad and Tobago, I expected Venezuela to give us a hard time. But if you're just joining us, be sure to like, subscribe, follow us. Follow us on all the socials as well. Because when you do that, you don't just help me, but you also automatically qualify for a chance to win prizes from EXTV, which includes signed jerseys, merch, a whole bunch of things. And you can support the channel as well. So, we're in the center circle there. Players are ready to kick off. Nathaniel James looks like he's starting. The referee has his hand on his watch. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. And we have started. And we're off. Trinidad and Tobago in black today. I'm wearing my black kit today. A lot of people are asking me where I got this kit. I don't know where to tell you right now, because truthfully, I don't know where to get this kit. It's nowhere available. I had a couple extra ones for the last qualifier. So Trinidad once again trying to go on the offensive. And perhaps that's a lingering trait that rolled over from, Dwight York to Derek King to go on the offensive. Trinidad would like to respond in a positive way after the Venezuela game. And that was a bit of an eye-opener for some people. It was not for me. But, Trinidad and Tobago is a team that, we have a long way to go. We have made progression, but at the same time, I don't want to turn around and say, hey, we've been doing a great job. So, camera is focusing on Derek King. Possession is now with Gabon. And they're keeping it in their half. And, a lot of these goalkeepers now are ball-playing goalkeepers now. In the past, that was not the case. Usually they would just keep the ball out of the net to long balls. So, Trinidad applying some pressure up front. I'm trying to look at the starting lineup. See if I could get that. Halftime, I could put up the formations and see the actual names. I didn't really get that. I got some information from the TTFA, but I was beating the hustle and bustle of the traffic to come and get here on an early morning. So we're just about 2 minutes in. Derek King and his troops have set up. And he would like to bounce back from that first game where we lost to Venezuela. A lot of people ask me, because they saw that, they're asking me if it's a group stage game and we have to play Uzbekistan. But apparently that's not the case. We're just playing these 2 games. And unfortunately, because we lost the first game, that kind of takes us out of contention for whatever else. So Gabon, as you saw in the match preview, we got tremendous insight from Thompson Feet, a former coach at Trinidad Tobago, who's now coaching Mali. He has done really well in the last 2 AFCONs. Got to the semifinals, I believe, in both tournaments, and we have a match preview. His knowledge and insight is amazing. He was not well treated by Trinidad Tobago and some of the media here, but it turns out in hindsight, he's doing well in AFCON, and he has done well in the past. So, who knows? Maybe a return, who knows? But that's a whole other discussion. So Gabon with an attack down the right wing, getting past their player. Well cleared by, I believe it's Garcia. Nathaniel James, I think he got the start today. So Gabon has the ability to take players on, and as you know, Tom said, I don't know if it's going to be the same formation, but they do like the 4-2-3-1. They probably will be fancying their chances against us because, you know, the AFCON Confederation is a very strong confederation, for those of you who don't know. They have top teams, top players, things like that. So it's very interesting to see how they approach this game. And it's good to see us play this type of opposition. So cut back into the box there. But luckily for us, it was cleared. So Gabon already starting to apply some pressure. You know, Trinidad and Tobago, perhaps this may work for us because, you know, in the Venezuela game, they almost lulled us to sleep. You know, they took their time, very South American style, and then we scored first, and then they decided to turn it on. If we can hold off, Levi Garcia holding up the ball, a nice attempt at some combination play on top of the box there, but it didn't work. It was broken down. You can see Gabon is very composed in the middle, taking their time, looking for gaps, spreading the ball across the field to the left. They have a lot of pace on the wings. So this time they're going down the left side, taking on their players. But, you know, Trinidad doing well to keep up. Not a very good cross, but they do manage to get it across the goal, cleared by Trinidad and Tobago to the top of the box. Gabon still in possession, folks. So if you're just joining us, there's a lot of action taking place. Gabon with a shot on goal. And unfortunately for us, you know, it went wide. So, folks, I know if a lot of you are just joining us, you know, a lot of you are on the highway right now. A lot of people have been disenchanted with the game. Oh, looking at the replay here, it turns out it was offside. So that's a lucky break for us. So I know a lot of you all, you know, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Anicet Yala, the head coach of Gabon, looking very thoughtful, you know, calculating on the sideline. Gabon, this will be a good test for us because physically you can see they're already applying the pressure. Gabon in the box, cutting the ball across. Cardines, it wasn't Cardines, but doing really well to get a desperate lunge to get that out. So we're already under a lot of pressure, folks. We're just approaching, you know, the 6th minute. We're just over the 5th minute, and Gabon have already created a couple chances, showing their physicality. Trinidad on the back foot, unlike the Venezuela game. And Trinidad attempting to launch a counter-attack, but we were fouled. So this should allow Trinidad to be good to kind of catch their breath a little bit, you know, slow things down, and trying to play the ball through the middle. Gabon pressing us as soon as we get the ball into the middle area. They press. And you can see a lot of the teams now are doing that selective press now. They don't just press relentlessly. Some teams do that. But it's, you know, like Marcelo Bielsa teams. So Trinidad and Tobago forced back. Gabon not really allowing us to settle that much. And as you all could have seen in the last game against Venezuela, teams that could really up the tempo with quick passing combinations cause us problems. Venezuela, you know, not one of the top South American teams, but still a top nation, showed us that, you know, the pace of the game that they're used to and the speed they play at. And not just speed, but quality, intelligent passing, thinking on the ball. So Trinidad trying to break through here, doing okay. Ball is out wide. I think it's Payne on the ball. Yes. Levi, I think in his ideal position. You know, he may have been feeling a bit of an esteem issue from, you know, missing that penalty the last time around. You know, he has had that problem for Trinidad and Tobago converting his chances. Out left for Trinidad and Tobago, we are making some headway into their box. Nathaniel James by himself, I believe. I didn't get to see the lineups properly, folks. So Trinidad applying, this is good. Trinidad and Tobago putting some pressure back on Gabon. So like I said, folks, if you're just joining us, I know a lot of people will be on the road right now. It's going to be tough. So if there's anybody outside the country right now, wherever you are joining in, let me know. I know a lot of people have been disappointed in the last game. You know, it reminds me of the game against a nice ball to Payne here. This could be an opening for us. I feel as if there's one criticism I have with modern footballers, and preferably in Trinidad and Tobago, is that in the past, you know, shielding is a thing that I grew up with, and a lot of the players I knew grew up with. I see a lot of South Americans doing it, but I don't see our players doing it much. I don't. I don't know if it's something in our DNA. If at the fundamental levels, a lot of coaches don't do it, and we're very easily knocked off the ball sometimes. The only player I see that does it is Levi. Look at, there's a perfect example of that. We're just completely dispossessed very easily in our own third. So this is another case. If you're looking at the game, Levi uses his body to shield the ball. I don't see anybody else, and I see this obviously at Pro League level and so on, anybody else doing that. So it is a bit scary. So while we're doing this, I'm going to try to pull up some of the stats on my laptop. So like I said, folks, if you're just joining us, let me know if I'm sounding okay. I know a lot of people, this is not an ideal time for Trinidad and Tobago fans. It's, 6 a.m. is usually the high commute time, so a lot of people are on the highway and so on, trying to get to work in there. So last time, I know my chat was not working well, so I hope that's not the case this time. So Gabon now so it's a very back and forth game. Gabon looking a bit more composed, but a chance there crossing it in. So Trinidad and Tobago has been on the back foot most of the first 10 minutes of this game. We have created, I would say, not even half chances, but we did create some attacking opportunities that Gabon did well to snuff out. So this is a corner for Gabon. If you're just joining us, we're approaching the 10th minute. It's 0-0. Gabon creating chance after chance, whipping the ball in again. Cleared by Trinidad and Tobago again, forcing a throw-in for Gabon. So Trinidad and Tobago definitely are under a lot of pressure. It's a different tone from the last game. Trinidad and Tobago have definitely had to go on the back foot. It's a different lineup, of course. Darren Payne and a couple others in there have their work cut out for them from the very beginning. Completely struggling at the beginning. I wouldn't say struggling, but they have their work cut out. And a perfect masterclass in headering there just now, if you saw it. So now, what I believe was an offside or an offensive foul for Trinidad and Tobago. So definitely some rotation in the squad here. And in the rankings, Trinidad and Tobago is 97, Gabon is 86. So in terms of rankings, I personally don't put too much weight on the rankings. I'm not a huge fan of the rankings. I don't take them entirely seriously. I don't think they truly reflect teams. I think it's a very bizarre ranking system. I paid attention to it before. And oftentimes, it never reveals that. So Gabon applying some pressure, trying to pass the ball along the back here. And, playing their way out some pressure really well. A long ball up to, I think that's Roald Mitchell. So applying some pressure now, Trinidad and Tobago is doing that. Doing well to kind of intercept the passing lanes. But Gabon also doing well to play out of the press. Doing a very good job. And, the thing is, they are using their bodies. This is a very minute criticism, but they are shielding really well. Tunara Slanov. Welcome. I hope I pronounced that game correctly. Let me know where you're from, who you're supporting. Keith Thomas, day is a holiday, so more people probably should be on the stream. That's a good point. That's a good point, Keith. Welcome to the stream as well. I think most people probably, as we say in Trinidad, lime last night. And, we do have a problem in Trinidad and Tobago with the fans. The fans are definitely kind of, they do jump on and off. We saw it in the qualifiers in the last two games that there was a massive drop-off. Not just with me, but in the stadiums. I feel as if that's another problem we have with Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe people are disenchanted. I don't know. You all could let me know what you think is the reason why, Trinidadian fans tend to go up and down. Is it that they're just used to disappointment? Is it that they're fed up? Let me know. So, folks, if you're in there and you want to get your people involved on watching the stream, let me know. Let them jump on. Be sure to like and subscribe. Keith Thomas, like I said, glad to have you here. I know it's an early morning. Maybe a lot of people are still asleep. I don't know. But I really appreciate that. And let me know your thoughts, Keith, and whoever else is in here. Be sure to join in. Of course, a lot of people are watching the game on FIFA Plus, so I hope that doesn't take you away from my live stream. So the game is pretty much, if I had to say, Jaren Jackie forcing a throw-in for us. are pretty much a kind of it's dominant by, I won't say fully dominant by Gabon, but you could see Gabon is a team that are really trying to take initiative. Trinidad and Tobago, to our credit, are trying to not just sit back, but try to create and not just recklessly get the ball out, but trying to play, which is a problem we had in the past. Sometimes we would just sit back and, you know, allow teams to kind of overrun us. You could see there's an attempt to try to play. You could see there's a thought process, a bit more composure. And, you know, that was a very good distribution there. Trinidad with a very dangerous looking attack out on the left here. The final ball, not quite the best ball, but Trinidad still in possession. A long range shot. I felt as if a little more patience was required by Rampasad there. Rampasad taking a shot from way outside. And it really wasn't not even close to being on target. But I guess he's confident in his abilities to kind of test the goalkeeper. I felt as if he probably could have taken maybe 3 or 4 steps forward before he took that shot. So like I said, folks, we're approaching the 15th minute. You know, Gabon creating more of the chances. Trinidad Tobago haven't created any clear chances. So welcome, Kevin from Gabon. It's great to have you, sir. You know, we have viewers from all over the planet. How do you think your team is doing? And I want to pronounce your name correctly. Is it Kevin Ganuche? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Welcome from Trinidad Tobago. It's good to have somebody's opinion from the other side. You know, tell me what do you think about Gabon's chances in today's game? And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to show your support. And we did have a match preview, and we pay attention to the AFCON with the Mali head coach. So it's good to have you here. So, folks, we have some viewers from Gabon as well. And it will be interesting to hear their opinions on how they are approaching this game and this tournament. I know Gabon had some issues as well. I know there was I don't know if I have the news correctly, but I know their team, their government intervened because of the performance in the last AFCON. So Gabon with a corner here. Trinidad clearing. Gabon still in possession here. Looking very composed on top of the box. Completely free out wide. Crosses in. Trinidad Tobago once again doing well to clear the ball, but Gabon is definitely getting a lot of leeway down the wings. And once again, another corner for Gabon. Trinidad Tobago are definitely, to be fair, even though Gabon is applying the pressure, they're doing well to at least hold off the attack so far. So hopefully, you know, the Gabon with a bit of a header there, but Trinidad doing enough to force another corner, is it? So Gabon turning the screws on Trinidad Tobago, applying the pressure. You could see, you know, Trinidad Tobago are trying to, you know, keep those doors closed. And Gabon are trying to smash those doors open. So that's very interesting to see how we hold up, because, you know, we have been talking about our attacking play, but, you know, this is a good test of our defense. And this is why we play teams like this. So Gabon with the next corner here, whipping it in. Well caught by Trinidad Tobago. So, you know, doing well to keep possession. I'm going to try to pull up some stats really quickly here. At least get the squad list, which apparently is very hard to find right now. I don't know why I'm not getting it. So there's a bit of a physical fall. Not too much ill intent. I think both players are going for the ball, a physical game. So Trinidad Tobago once again trying to keep possession in their half. Gabon applying that pressure. So not allowing Trinidad to rest too much. I don't know if that was instructions from the coach and so on. Trinidad getting some leeway down the ring. This could be an opportunity for Trinidad Tobago. A good cross in, well intercepted by Gabon's defense. I felt as if a bit more thoughtfulness could have caused some problems. Cardin's on the left side. You know, we do have that pace on our wing as well, so we can create chances. That was a bit of a scare there, but well dealt with by the Gabon defense. Well dealt with. So Trinidad Tobago once again could take some solace in the fact that we can attack teams. I felt as if we could have attacked Venezuela a bit more. Kevin, yes sir, well pronounced. My Gabon 2, Trinidad Tobago 2. That's what you think. Okay, so Kevin thinks it's going to be 2-all. Folks, Trinidad Tobago fans as well, what do you think? I mean, I think that's a fair result based on our form. But it's good to have your insight, Kevin, about Gabon. And you obviously look at the team more than I do. I think if we get away with a 2-2 draw, that's not bad. So, both teams are looking to try to bounce back. But once again, another corner for Gabon. So perhaps this may be a blessing in disguise for Trinidad and Tobago, because I think in the Venezuela game, it was a very cagey affair at the beginning. It perhaps lulled us into a sense of safety. Gabon with a shot outside the box, a very good shot, but, straight at the keeper. I believe that Trinidad and Tobago may have been lulled into a false sense of security. A very South American style of play. They kind of pass the ball around, and then they just turn it on when Rondon and Segovia and those guys came on, and Carrasco. Top quality players. And Venezuela have those type of players. So like I'm saying, folks, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like, subscribe. I saw some new subscribers popping in as well. Coco, thank you for subscribing. And also you can check out the preview as well. Trinidad and Tobago fans, come on. It's a public holiday. We're getting access to an international game. Where are you guys? Did you guys party too much last night? Is it too early? Are people still asleep? Because I know that's an issue. I know some people are working. Some people, like myself right now. So, folks, just a reminder, while there's a little bit of a pause here, don't forget to like and subscribe. You head over to extvmedia.com. We have interviews and chats with people like Shaka Hislop, Kenwin Jones. We have live streams. We have esports as well. And, don't forget to follow us on the socials. Kevin, as well, this is for you as well. We have prizes that we give away to random people all over the planet. So, wherever you are, you will get it if you win. Jerseys, possibly a copy of EAFC and so on. So it's a pleasure to have people from not just Trinidad and Tobago, but from Gabon as well. And I'm glad you like the stream, Kevin. So once again, I throw in. I'm going to try to pull out some stats. So Cardines is playing on the left side today. Interesting. Shows that he's versatile. So it's a free kick deep in our half. Cardines with a long distribution, getting the ball up. Perhaps trying to use Levi's physicality. And once again, this is a criticism I have. Trinidad and Tobago and players in general in our setup. I watch a lot of South American football. I watch a lot of football. I do notice, and I don't know if it's a training thing, our players don't shield that well. That's just one of my little things. It's a little thing where that gives you that extra second. You could see Levi Garcia does it. Rampasad does it a little bit. Some of our midfield players. But sometimes our attacking players are all offense. And sometimes not very good at keeping the ball. They heavily rely on offense and dribbling. And sometimes you need to get that physicality. But Rampasad with a good ball to Levi there. Levi trying to find an opening. He does find an opening. Could this be a goal for Trinidad? Well stopped by Gabon. Well stopped. That split second of hesitation. Trinidad and Tobago. I think that was Rian Moore. I'm kind of trying to take a look at the replay. So Trinidad and Tobago, while we have been on the back foot, we have started to create some chances. We have a corner now. Cardines taking the corner. Rian Moore with a bit of a well-created chance and an excellent pass from Levi Garcia, but well stopped by Gabon. I couldn't see who the defender was because it happened so quickly. So there's a bit of jostling in the box there. The ref is paying attention. Let's see how we handle this set piece. Gabon has had a whole bunch. Cardines seems like his responsibility most of the time for these sort of things. In the box there, well cleared by Gabon, and there is a foul. So some pressure off of Gabon. If I pause for a second, it's because I'm trying to pull up some stats really quickly, folks. Keith Thomas, kudos to you for carrying the flag for Trinidad and Tobago. I think it's bad. I'm calling out the Trinidad and Tobago fans for sleeping on the job. We say we're a passionate football country, but we're a bunch of jokers, man. I saw that in the last World Cup qualifiers where everybody was just waiting for the result. I do understand the frustration sometimes. Darren Jackie pleading his case to the ref there for a foul. Player looks like he's in a lot of pain. You know when players are faking. He does not look like he's faking. So let's take a look at the replay here. Jaron Jackie's a very physical player. I don't think there was any ill intent, but it seems like he came off worse. Jaron Jackie's a very strong player. Keith Thomas, typo, quick fix, not fixture. Keith Thomas, I don't really know. Keith, how do you think this game is going to go, Keith? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So there's a free kick for Gabon, deep into our area, whipped in, directly on goal. Very clever, very, very, very scary effort. Had to keep the keeper on his toes. So, in all fairness, although we have been mostly on the back foot, our centre backs and the goalkeeper has been doing pretty well. And like I said, you know, playing this type of opposition, you know, from AFCON and CONMEBOL and so on, this is the kind of opposition we need. This is the kind of opposition we need. We need to really step up our game, not just at international level, but at club level. You know, not just the physical aspect. These players train really hard, but the footballing IQ aspect, the decision making on the field, you know, the type of preparation, because, you know, you can't play a lot of friendlies and actually not learn a lot of things. And, you know, international games are few and far between. So, you know, our domestic league and the players all over the planet. I mean, we are missing a lot of players. Once again, a corner whipped in, well cleared. Bit of a 50-50 on top of the box. Gabon once again in possession. Played in. Could call for offside, but once again, very good communication. That could have been a mix-up where there was Levi. Ooh, Levi could have had a breakaway. That should definitely be a yellow card, and it is. It definitely is. That was a very strategic foul by Gabon. That could have been a dangerous breakaway for us. I cannot really fault the Gabon player for that tackle on Levi Garcia. And to be fair, he tried to go for the ball, but Levi Garcia was just a step too quick. It was just a step too quick. So if you're wondering why I'm looking down at the screen now, folks, is because I'm pulling up the, trying to pull up some stats here. So, folks, it's 6:30 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago. I guess a lot of you are sleeping and not supporting your team. So, like I said, for those of you in there who are joining in really late, be sure to do that. I will be answering some questions at halftime. And for everybody, you know, the people from Gabon as well, welcome. I would love to hear your thoughts. Wow, that could have been a chance for Gabon. The keeper could not get to the ball there. Far post header just missed. And it was poked away for another. It's a throw-in for us. I actually thought it was a throw-in for Gabon. Let's take a look at the replay. So the cross was whipped in. Player was clear at the far post. It turns out there was no contact that was made. And as a result, you know, so Levi Garcia drawing a foul. And once again, Levi Garcia is showing, is proving my point. Levi Garcia is able to hold up the ball. I'm wondering why you're not seeing the player names on the jerseys on Trinidad and Tobago. That's kind of strange. It looks a bit washed out. But anyway, Trinidad and Tobago trying to keep some possession. I'm hydrating, folks. Last time my throat got really dry. I didn't get to eat my breakfast properly, so I'm having a protein drink. Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, if you're just joining us, you know, we're approaching the 27th minute. It's 0-0. The Gabon has dominated possession and created a lot of opportunities down the wing. But to be fair, Trinidad and Tobago has created some decent chances. They're few and far between, but they have created chances. But definitely on the back foot most of the time from Gabon. But I would not say visually this has been a bad performance. I think Trinidad and Tobago has been put back. Gabon is a very athletic, fast team. And I think they're doing a good job in terms of containing the pace. However, you can't sustain that for the first half. And like I said, Trinidad and Tobago is trying to play the ball out. Once again, an attempted through ball. But Cardines, who is now on the left today, doing well to usher it out. So Keith Thomas, think if win, it's good for morale. Yes, I think we do need a win, not just for the players, but for the national team and the fans as well. I am disappointed with, you know, the fans sometimes. I feel as if and, you know, we always talk about the TTFA and the people behind the scenes, but I do feel as if the fans, maybe that's the fans speaking, you know, they demand better. But I know countries where the fans turn out no matter what, even if they're unhappy. They get behind the players. So Trinidad Tobago dispossessed in the middle of the pitch. Gabon trying to get the ball into the center there. In the box. Doing well to keep possession. This is going to be another cross. Once again, another cross. And Gabon are continuously upping the pressure. They're continuously probing on the wings, continuously whipping in those crosses. And, you know, it's getting more and more difficult. But Trinidad and Tobago are, you know, containing the storm so far. Not too much 1-2 combinations in the middle of the box of Trinidad and Tobago. So, welcome. I hope I pronounced this correctly. Victorian Kivovan. Wow, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly at all. So I'm just going to say Victor. Welcome, Victor, to the live stream. Tell me where you're from. And, you know, if the game goes like this, statistically, if you keep attacking like this, although football is, you know, stats are not everything in football. You know, Gabon, if they keep creating chances, they're bound to probably take one sooner or later. But we've seen games where teams create chances and then get sucker punched on the corner. Trinidad and Tobago are clearly playing for the counter-attack. Oh, from Ukraine. Yeah, I met some nice people from Ukraine when I was in Paris for the Olympics. Victor. That's great. I appreciate you. Welcome to the live stream. Be sure to like and subscribe. And, you know, let me know what you think about this game and what brought you to this live stream. Are you a fan of either one of these teams? Let me know. Let me know where you're from and what you're about. And I love that about this live stream, folks. We have viewers from all over the planet. Gabon and also, you know, Ukraine. The last time we had people all over the Central America, Mexico, USA, Curacao as well, Jamaica. So Gabon are trying to turn that physicality up, folks. But a long, no-nonsense clearance of Trinidad and Tobago. There's a handball, apparently, for Gabon. Apparently, I'm seeing a possible substitution for the Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper. I hope that's not the case. And also, folks, let me know if you're hearing me okay. Rohit Dawar, welcome. Big up Trinidad, but I have Gabon. How do you think this game is going to go, Rohit? And let me know where you're from. I know it's early in the morning. Let me know where you're from and what time it is if you're from Trinidad or wherever you are. And like I said, folks, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow the socials. Click the notification bell. Check out the previews. Head over to EXTV Media when the game is done. We have some great interviews with Shaka Hislop, Kenwin Jones, and Thompson Feet. So you could do that as well. So, Victor, to be honest, I made a bet. Listen, that's fine. Who did you bet on? I'm curious, Victor. Tell me, who did you bet on? That's okay. This is a safe space. You can tell us. Maybe we could get some of that prize money if you win lots of money. But, of course, I'm always going to support my national team. So, Rohit, born and raised in Trinidad, reside in Toronto now. Oh, wow. So, welcome. What time is it in Toronto? I think Toronto... What's the time difference? It may be maybe an hour, maybe the same. I don't know. I have a lot of family in Canada. So, yes. So, Rohit, no. I'm streaming off the FIFA Plus app. I'm hoping you still stay on the stream and don't forget me. But the FIFA Plus app has the game available. Victor, not too much. Victor is saying Gabon win. So, you know. Based on his stats, Gabon, Victor, I think that's a logical bet. For me, it's Trinidad and Tobago. It's emotional, so I'll be supporting my national team. But, you know, based on statistics, they are ranked higher. They play in the AFCON region, which is a tougher confederation. So, on paper, I can understand why you made that bet. So, it's 6:35 a.m. So, Rohit, listen, I appreciate that you supporting the stream. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Like the video. And continue to support us. We hope to hear from you soon because we do a lot of these streams. So, you know, folks, a lot of people, Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of the international viewers are putting you all to shame. That's very bad because they're coming on and supporting. So we're in the 31st minute. Trinidad and Tobago, we're ranked in 97th in the World Cup rankings. I mean, the FIFA World rankings. Trinidad and Tobago has created 1 or 2 chances. And, you know, it is a bit of a, I would say a very counter-attacking setup for Trinidad and Tobago. Clearly, that's probably Derek King's approach. But I won't say we are sitting back. I think Derek King, you could see there's an attempt to try to play the ball. Trinidad and Tobago are allowing Gabon to try to come into the middle third of the pitch and then pressing, not too aggressively, trying to cut off the passing lanes. Gabon has been doing a lot of passing down the wings. But most of the scrapping has been in the middle area. Gabon with a shot on top of the box. Wow! What a goal for Gabon. That is a proper shot and finish. Just when I was saying the game was being a bit more counter-attacking on Trinidad Tobago, they went down the middle. They usually go down the wings. They cut inside, and a beautiful finish. An absolutely beautiful finish. Wow. I can't say anything. So, Victor, you're probably happy right now. You know, Gabon fans are probably very happy right now. I would say it's a bit disappointing for Trinidad Tobago. I'm gonna try to pull up the change my score line right now. I don't know where did it go. I have too much windows up, folks. I have too much windows up. So yeah, it's 1-0 to Gabon. I'm taking a look at the replay. Perfectly placed into the corner, folks. Holding off his player well, cutting inside, and you know Trinidad Tobago should have had a player at least a bit closer. But I think that's due to Gabon's movement, and once again, you know, doing well to create space for himself, and get that, you know, that shot on goal. So it's a beautiful goal, the opening goal by Kanga in the 33rd minute. You know, it's not a very good I'd say not a very good look for our defense there for that particular second. But you know, I think with all things considered, I think the game is it has been pretty, I don't want to say even, but I think Gabon has been knocking on our door and we had it coming. Surprisingly, they didn't get it from across, but they got it from, you know, attacking us down the center. So Trinidad Tobago are going to have to sit down and really, you know, react to this. This is where you learn. You learn to react. Now, folks, there is a dangerous precedent we have to be careful of. You know, Trinidad Tobago has to make sure we don't set that precedence for ourselves or we get a losing habit. We have to be careful about that. That's a very huge concern for us because, you know, just like winning is a habit, losing is also a habit. And we have to be very careful about that, folks. We have to be very careful. So Trinidad, how will Trinidad Tobago respond, people? For those of you in the live stream, welcome. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe and like. It really helps the channel. And of course, you can purchase merch as well. So let me know what you think. So Victor is probably very happy right now. Kevin is probably very happy right now. Trinidad Tobago fans, Keith, let me know, what do you think? How do you think we should react to this particular thing? So Gabon, once again, bit of a foul there. It is a foul. So Trinidad Tobago is going to have to try to react. Don't let the game slip away from us. Trinidad is arguing it's a throw-in for us. Quick throw-in. Trinidad Tobago, a 1v1 in the box, but there's a yellow card for Darren Payne. Rightfully so. Trinidad trying to get an immediate response. Trying to create some space down the wings with some combination play, but Gabon doing well to push us back, unfortunately. Jaren Jackie is known for his attacking runs, and his defense will probably thought they should have done better. Attempting to try to shield the ball, but once again, dispossessed by Gabon. A very absolutely important tackle there. If it was not made, it could have been a 1v1, possibly a free on goal. Gabon once again applying the pressure. I felt as if for that goal, the speed of the combination play and the ability of them to create space for themselves was very important. Trinidad Tobago trying combination plays, trying our best, and I think doing an okay job. So, folks, do you think it's still going to be a 2-all draw for Trinidad Tobago? An attacking run by Trinidad Tobago, but the final ball, once again, not a very good ball in the end there. A surging run by Levi Garcia. West Indies FA. James, is that you? I appreciate the kind words. I'm up early doing this. Thanks. And you know, folks, this. I would love to hear your insight into this game, James. What do you think about this game? How do you think we're playing? And of course, you know, we'll probably do a reaction after the game. I know a lot of people probably partied a lot last night. So if you're just joining us, we're approaching the 40th minute. Trinidad Tobago 0, Gabon 1. Gabon, to be fair, have been creating a lot of crosses and plays down the wing. But in the end, you know, it was a attack through the middle that, you know, opened up the scoring for them. So Trinidad Tobago with a corner. we've had very few opportunities. I would say some 50-50 chances, which Gabon quickly dealt with. But we are creating chances. We do have the pace of trouble defenders. Cardines with a short corner. Back to Cardines, whipping into the far post. Could be a, header over the bar. But, you know, nice working of the corner kick there. But not enough to really cause Gabon any concern. Not enough to cause Gabon any concern. So, folks, you know, Trinidad Tobago fans, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I know a lot of people, sometimes they jump on halftime because they're asleep. The last time a lot of people were on the road, I have a suspicion a lot of people partied a little bit too much last night. But, you know, Victor, Kevin as well, a lot of you guys from Ukraine and Gabon, we have a couple people from those countries in there. You're probably very happy right now. So Gabon, with a fortuitous through ball, it was deflected to our player, forcing a fall from Rampasad, I believe. So Trinidad Tobago, you know, we're going to have to see how they're reacting to this game. No, it wasn't Rampasad. But, you know, the game seems to be played in a good spirit. All the players, there's no real hostility. Trinidad Tobago, this is what we have to see what Trinidad Tobago is made of. You know, Dwight York, when he was the coach, complained that, you know, we are a very reactive team. So let's see how this team is going to react. Goal scoring, even when Dwight York was the coach, you know, we would create a lot of chances and not score. You know, it has really hurt us because we create chances, we don't take them, and then, you know, Gabon. To be fair, like I said to Gabon, they have created way more chances down the wings. And Payne doing well. A little bit of a heated moment there, but quickly dispelled by the ref. It looked like a bit of a heated moment. But Payne showing some emotional intelligence there to kind of calm things down. So Trinidad Tobago need to be calm, continue to create chances. And, you know, just let's, you know, try to get a positive result. You know, Gabon, this kind of plays into Trinidad Tobago's apparent strength in the past, where some people were claiming that, you know, Trinidad Tobago are a reactive team, and that's when we activate. And one of the issues people had with Angus Eve is that they said he was too pragmatic. Now, personally, I don't have an issue with pragmatic football. You know, I think whatever tactic you need to do to get you to win. We all love beautiful passing football. So one of the arguments in the beginning of the campaign people would say is that we would be defensive too much. Why don't we attack more? Because when we attack, we score goals. The problem is, I think, that Trinidad Tobago fans, you know, while we do want to see that attacking football, you know, that balance between attack and defense is our problem, that identity. So there's an early substitution. There's an injury for Gabon, I believe. So Babika, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is off, and Sambisa is coming on. So I did see earlier he did get a bad tackle. I'm also seeing the medical staff going on to the Gambia goalkeeper. So I don't know, maybe I think it works for us to kind of slow things down, let the game calm down. Derek King could probably give some instructions to his players, and then, you know, get things to halftime at 1-0, have a discussion. I think this may be a bit of strategic, just calming things down. But I do see that the medical officials for Gabon are doing a wrap around Gabon's goalkeeper's knee. So I'm going to take the opportunity here to just try to get some stats here really quickly. All right, so also, folks, let me know if you're hearing me okay, where you are right now, if people are still asleep, if the caffeine didn't kick in yet. What are you doing? It is 1-0. We're approaching halftime. It's the 41st minute. You know, Trinidad Tobago doing okay, I think. They're doing okay. I don't think it's the best performance, but I think it's a reflection of Gabon taking initiative and attacking. And they having attacking a lot down the wings. And interestingly enough, the goal came from cutting into the center. More, not I would say on the wings, but, you know, kudos for them for creating a chance. Trinidad Tobago trying a quick release. We are resorting to those kind of direct balls deep in our half to try to release a counter-attack. Gabon seems to be doing a good job snuffing it out. But, Trinidad clearly is not rattled by this, trying to create some chances. Not the best touch by Nathaniel Garcia. Deron Payne doing a pretty decent job. A ball in the box of Trinidad and Tobago. Did we force a corner or is it a goal kick? Levi is claiming he got a corner. We did get the corner, I think. We did get a corner. So welcome TJ777. As expected, we are doing what we do best, lose. We should try to be consistent losers because that is the only thing we seem to really excel at. And TJ, I really feel the pain in that statement. Welcome. I understand. I'm a fan as well. I mean, I worked in professional football as well. So I've seen it from both sides. And like I said, just like winning is a habit, losing is a habit. Not the best delivery from the corner there, folks. I felt that was really poor considering we don't get much corners. But I understand your pain. I understand your pain, TJ. Welcome to the live stream. Kudos to you for still coming on the stream and watching. I understand the frustration. I understand. I have discussions. Fans come up to me when I go, to grab my little Starbucks or when I'm in public, and we have discussions. And they tell me, that they're frustrated. And there's a lot of things within the TTFA and within our setup, within our culture. Gabon with a cross could be a goal number 2 for them, but it wasn't well cleared by Trinidad and Tobago. And this is where we'll also see the fitness levels of Trinidad and Tobago, because Dwight York worked a lot on fitness. Can Trinidad and Tobago hold off and sustain their fitness levels? Because usually the drop-off was usually around the 67th minute in the past. But to be fair, when Dwight York was there, that was not an issue for us. And, he identified that. To me, it's a shame we didn't keep him, but, it was financial issues. West Indies, Gabon haven't won in a long time. They pushed Ivory Coast in December 3-2, but way back to 2025. Yeah, correct. And they had some issues. I think even their government stepped in because they weren't happy. Trinidad and Tobago here now in an offside position, unfortunately. But yes, I remember reading that Gabon had some issues with their national team, and they were even going to stop playing football for a while. So, they were not happy. Although, according to the laws, governments are not supposed to really intervene. But, we know countries do bend the rules. So I know a lot of people in Gabon, especially their government, was not happy with their performance. So they're indicating 2 minutes of extra time, which I think, with all things considered, with Gabon, sorry, I stepped away from the mic, Gabon, they have created the majority of the chances. They have dominated a lot of the play down the wings. Trinidad and Tobago have created some half chances, choosing their moments. Clearly a counter-attacking style. I don't know if that's a tactical choice, or I don't know if it's a reactive choice based on how Gabon is playing. Folks, you can let me know what you're thinking in the live stream as well. So Trinidad and Tobago trying to see out the first half. A lot could happen in 60 seconds, folks. So once again, we are bypassing the midfield. I think we are trying to release our wingers on the wing. We're not passing through the middle as much as before. Easily snuffed out by Gabon, but Trinidad and Tobago winning possession. Rampersad, doing well. I think Rampersad is a pretty solid player. He's a favorite of Derek King. I remember when Derek King and Stephen Hart were at Halifax Warriors, he was one of their first signings. So Trinidad and Tobago forcing I thought it was a corner, but now it's a goal kick. So my error, folks, my error. So the Gabon coach shouting instructions. Looks very calm. Can't really read his lips about what he's saying. So folks, if you're just joining us, I know it's a bit disheartening. As TJ said, Trinidad and Tobago, it seems as if we're always losing. And, folks, that's a whole other discussion which I could talk about on one of the EXTV lives that we have every week, folks. EXTV live episode. So it's not just for Trinidad and Tobago fans, but Caribbean fans and people abroad. We have a lot of international viewers as well. You could check us out and have your thoughts and discussion. Sometimes we bring players in here, quote-unquote celebs, and they come in the studio and they chat, and you could have conversations in real time. And we talk about these things. I'm not going to say anything that people don't know before. But, we do have a lot of problems behind the scenes with Trinidad and Tobago football. Financially, people that shouldn't be there. Just our approach to the thing. So it's halftime, folks. It's halftime. It's 2-0. Gabon 1. Trinidad and Tobago 0. And, while Gabon did create a lot of attacking chances, the goal came from, inside the box. not the actual going down the wings, which is interesting. They have been trying to probe us down the wings. So Trinidad and Tobago's, they're probably going to go into halftime, have a bit of a discussion there. So if you're just joining us, a goal from Kanga in the 33rd minute for Gabon. You know, Gabon, this would be a good morale-boosting victory for them. They haven't had the best run of form, as you know, West Indies FA pointed out as well. So, you know, this is something that will be great for them. For us, Trinidad and Tobago is going to have to not just take the usual generic response where we learned a lot from this game, but, you know, we're going to have to try to get some wins. The TTFA, welcome Street Drive, welcome to the live stream. The TTFA is the biggest problem in this. Like I said, you know, I don't like to be the doom and gloom guy, but, you know, we have to ask questions of our organization and, you know, the people running our football all the way down to youth levels. You know, how we approach football, how we approach training, how we approach developing coaches, how we choose players. There's a lot of prejudice in choosing players, a lot of prejudice when choosing coaches. There's a lot of people that, you know, have served their time, and it's time to groom new people from the administrative side to get people in there, people that have football's best interests. So I'm seeing some people popping in the stream. So welcome Street Drive, welcome Big Moves 868. Dante could easily change his game. Yes, let's see how it goes. Welcome Big Moves 888. Let's see. Childeric do Brazil. Oh my gosh, I really butchered that. From Gabon. So we have a lot of people from Gabon in here. Welcome to the live stream, folks, from Gabon. I hope you all are really having a good time. You all are winning, so you're probably in a good mood. I realize I left my clock running, so let me stop that. So folks, let me know what you think about the graphics and everything on the field, on the screen. You know, I do put a lot of effort into making the stream look better and better. And, you know, we do get a lot of data from SofaScore as well, folks. I'd like to say a special thank you to them. We have a tremendous relationship with SofaScore. They give us a lot of insight and information. And you can let me know your thoughts. You know, what do you think about the game? So I see people are flying into the stream now. So Street Drive, exactly 100 agree. They should never let York go. And I wanted him to stay, but I think it's a financial reason. I knew that was going to happen. Jafari Alexander, welcome to the live stream. We're not playing bad, though. I think so. I agree. I think we're not playing bad. I think, you know, it's not perfect. Well, I think with all things considered, I think we're doing okay. The team could sit down. Derek King could say, listen, guys, we are creating some chances. And, you know, and that's the thing with international football. Those moments of lapses will cost you. You play well, you concede a goal, you lose, you know. And that's the sad part. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, while we are playing well, you know, converting that into results is really important. And that's where a lot of people clash, you know. Like, a lot of people had some issues with Angus Eve versus Dwight York and the styles of play. But, you know, it's a result-oriented game. All of us would love to see us play beautiful football. But getting the result, you know. Sometimes it isn't pretty, but people don't remember pretty. They remember the result. So PvP Kai, why isn't Michel Poon Angeron in the team? I've always been a huge fan of him. I personally think when he was in Banfield, he should have stayed in Argentina. But, you know, he probably had his reasons. I think he could have probably gone on to Spain. I think it's very... A lot of people don't know this, but if somebody from Trinidad and Tobago to play in Argentina is a massive move. And I was hoping it would have created a bit of a move for us. Because we always talk about players going in the... not in the Premier League and things and so on. But, you know... I always wondered why we don't send players to the South American region. Perhaps a language barrier, I don't know. But I know Michel could speak Spanish fluently. I like his style of play and how he plays. I feel as if, you know, I don't know. I'm not the coach, so I can't say. But, you know, I agree. I think I would love to see him more. And Keith Thomas, I'm in agreement with Street Drive. Kingley, welcome. Always Kingley, a regular inside. Very loyal as always. I was a little worried. I thought, Kingley, you were asleep. But you are here. Big moves. I saw lol. Let me know what you're lolling at. Nigel Pierre, welcome. Nigel Pierre from Houston, watching from Tampa. Nice. You know, we have a lot of viewers from all over the world looking. That's very impressive. I love Houston. I'm always there. I haven't been there in a while, but I'm always in Houston. I have a lot of friends there. You know, I did a long time ago when I was doing my degree. You know, I had some fun with Houston Dynamo and Adidas. A lot of you don't know this, folks. I'm not just a streamer, but I do analysis. I have worked with professional teams before. And, you know, early in my academic career, I was there. So, a lot of love. You know, welcome, Nigel. So big moves. All in all, not bad. Half Gill defensively was a little too vulnerable. They exploited that side a little too much. Our defense was better than I thought. Yes, I think we handled the crosses very well. I don't think we were stopping enough, but we were dealing with the crosses. I do think the goal that was scored, and I'm looking at the replays here now, that's that moment. But that's kudos to the Gabon player. He did create space for himself and scored a top quality goal. I mean, top bins, as they say in England. Top bins. Top bins, fam. As my buddies in England say. That was a terrible impersonation. Street drive. But it was coming. They should have given him time because the TTFA having a financial problem. They should deal with it better than that because York eyed a grown man. So I'm thinking there was some discussions. I don't know what took place. I'm just making an educated guess. Clearly, it seems like it was a financial thing. There's other coaches in the past that wanted to stay on and wanted certain things to help the teams prepare better. And I think in the end, it was usually financial. And I wouldn't say greed. You know, a lot of people are quick to say it's greed. But, you know, I think there's a lot of things to running a national team outside just picking a squad and training. There's a lot of things that you need and resources. And in order to compete at the highest level, you need that. In addition to friendlies, there are a lot of logistics that goes on, the right staff, the right analysis. There's a lot. And, you know, national team football is very different. Club football, as you all know, it's day-to-day. You could work with players. National teams, you need to have that in place. A lot of friendlies. You know, York had that star power to be able to attract maybe some glamour friendlies that maybe other coaches couldn't. And then even though, you know, a lot of people spoke about Terry Fennick and so on in the past and Angus, you know, a lot of people were complaining about Terry Fennick's salary. You know, Dwight York's salary was very high. So, you know, it's so much. It's so much. Kingley, Derek King can't coach at the level to defeat Gabon. I fed up of him, you know. The TTFA must take a serious decision to sack him because of his stupidity. I think Derek King is unfortunately kind of like in the firing line in a lot of ways because he's that interim guy. He's never really been given a run at coach. And maybe there's a reason for that. I mean, he's been around. He has a lot of knowledge of Trinidad Tobago football. He has been trusted by a lot of coaches in the past. I don't know how the selection process works. If the coaches choose Derek King or it's appointed by the technical committee, I don't know. But, you know, it's hard to argue what you're saying. You know, the results have not been good. He usually takes over in the interim, and we always get smacked in the interim. So I understand his frustration. Street Drive, Kingley, big up. So you all know each other. That's good. We're building a nice community. Street Drive. We have people from Gabon, Houston, Canada. We also have people from Ukraine as well. My Alexa just came on. Alexa, stop. I have to talk to Alexa. Alexa controls my lights as well, folks. So just reading the comments at halftime. I'm just going to try to pull out some stats really quickly here, folks, while we're talking. So while we're talking, a lot of people in the chat here, I want to send the link out to my live stream. So I hope everybody's watching. So if I'm quiet for a few seconds because I'm sending out the link to a couple of people who want to join in the stream. So keep the comments coming. I'll get back to it. And folks, what I'm going to ask you all, if you're in here and you haven't done so before, be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on our socials right here. Because when you do that, you automatically qualify for prizes. We already had a couple giveaways already. Mark Molino and a couple others we will be giving away sometimes jerseys. If you can get signatures, we can. Maybe the country of your choice. The World Cup is coming up. Let me know how you all are supporting. I will be doing live streams for the World Cup as well. So, you know, be sure to check that out as well. And, you know, follow us at extvmedia.com as well. We have a lot of content there. So continue to support if you haven't done so before. I'm seeing somebody just subscribed. DNA Football has subscribed. Cool. Welcome. All of that helps, folks. It really helps the channel. When you do that, it really helps the channel. It takes a lot of work to put this together. And, of course, we have merchandise you can purchase that's delivered globally. It goes towards helping the channel, yes, but it also goes towards charities. And, you know, I will be posting up the charities. There's a kids' home in my area. You know, I will give whatever percentage we get to those kids as well. And I will put pictures and so on. I may even do a live stream. I don't really like to take pictures because I feel as if when you're doing charity, it sounds insincere. But we're helping some kids, you know, who are less fortunate. So There's a lot of comments I have to catch up with. PvP Kai, this is not Derek King fault. Big moves. Yeah, I see you all greeting each other in a Big Moves 868. Since I'm new here, I would love to hear your opinion on this. Sean Cooper is one of our best bets. Why did my screen change behind? I'll fix that in a little while. I don't know where. Oh, there we go. I'll answer your question shortly. So let me pull that up quickly. Nice. So to answer your question, first of all, Big Moves, thank you, and I hope you subscribed, and I'll answer your question. Since I'm new here, I would love to hear your opinion on this. Sean Cooper is one of our best bets. Easily top 2 tactical coaches in the country. If you know, you know. So Cooper and Angus Eve have done really well at, high school level. I know this. I know him personally. And he's worked at Prez. I know there was some recent controversy, and there was a ban and so on. He has worked with our youth teams in the past. So in a lot of ways, hiring Sean Cooper would be similar to like Angus Eve. I could already hear some people saying, okay, high school coaches versus international coaches, but then you have Angus Eve who went in and he got some good results. Angus Eve recently came out in an interview saying that, and I will probably post a clip about that, saying that he was asked by, I think it was Andre Batiste in one of his radio shows, if he could, if he was still a coach, if he could have taken us to the World Cup, and he said yes. And listen, whether you like him or not, you can't argue that he got some good results. People may not have liked his football, but he got some results, So a lot of people, they have their opinions, and that's okay. It's okay to have opinions, folks. That's a problem I have with Trinidad and Tobago people. We in the football fraternity, when people disagree, you can't disagree agreeably and have conversations. You could have different opinions and not hate each other, and that's a real problem within the Trinidad and Tobago football circles. So I hope that's my opinion. So let's see. We have a lot of questions coming in. Kingley, what do you mean he should never be the head coach for Trinidad and Tobago? We're supposed to have a foreign-based coach from Europe who are on a competitive level. I would say, based on our finances, I would love to have a European coach. I think, coaches like Terry, even Tom, and a couple others were not given a real chance. There's a lot of things that went on behind the scenes when I'd had little conversations with them that we could probably discuss later on. But yes, I think we need a coach with experience and an FA that has the resources to back those coaches. Because a good coach who really knows what he's doing, if he sees what's going on, probably will not take the job. That's my opinion. Somebody like Goose Hiddink. Goose Hiddink took a lot less salary, but was able to look what he did with Curacao. Unfortunately, the situation with his wife has forced him to step down from the team. He made history with Curacao, but coaches like that. Street Drive, yeah, man. I have a YouTube channel and this content. Oh, nice. So I will subscribe. I will check it out. And I saw you subscribed, so congratulations. And, I will check it out. We all have to support each other. And like I said, folks, be sure to like and subscribe. We have our merch and so on. You can make donations and stuff to the channel. It really helps. So, of course, I will be checking it out, folks, and check out DNF. D and football. Is that it? So we'll check that out. Is it Street Drive or Street Driv? So big moves. Yeah, I agree. Kingley not having Dante starting. So a couple of people are messaging me to send the link. So if I'm quiet, it's because I'm going to send the link to a couple of people in my in the stream here. I have a little thing here. You all can't see it, but I can. So people want to see the stream, and I really appreciate that. People coming in. Welcome, Harrison Wells. Welcome back. Good morning. I know it's an early morning. A lot of people were liming, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago. We do have some foreigners. When we say lime, that means hanging out. We have people from Gabon and Ukraine that popping in and out of the stream. So everybody here, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. So I'm sending this to fans as we speak, folks. This is fully engaging. I'm handling everything, watching the game, sending it out to fans. There are people who want to see the streams and sending it to them. When I mean the stream, this stream. So I really appreciate everybody coming in. And like I said, let me know. Keep the questions coming. I'd love to answer them all. And I will ask you all a question. EXTV. We usually have a weekly episode where you all choose the topics, and it's live like this, and we have giveaways and so on. Would you all like me to resume the EXTV live, where you all request the topics? You come in live. We have a couple minutes where we do the latest topics of your choice. Sometimes we'll have guests like Shaka Hislop, Kenwin Jones, people from ESPN, FC, BN Sports, and so on, or myself. And then we do a little Q&A where you could ask questions directly live. So it's fully interactive, folks. It's not like television where you have to sit down and maybe your message gets through. Because this is fully synergistic, folks. We can have that relationship. So I'm seeing the refs coming back on field here. I am going to post, some people want the links on my live stream on Twitter, so I'm going to put it out there, folks. So, folks, you can let me know what you think about that. What do you think about the stream? What do you think about it? You know, the World Cup is coming up. I'm a huge fan. I'm thinking about doing a live stream because Italy may not make it. I watch along for the Italy game today. So I may do that as well. You can let me know your thoughts as well. And keep the comments coming. And you could feel free to drop comments and check out our other videos as well. We have some very good insight from Tom St. Feet in the match preview, which you could check out after the game because obviously the game is going on now. So feel free to do that. If you're wondering why I'm a little bit distracted, it's because I'm sending a lot of people have been asking for the stream, and I'm sending it, and I really appreciate that, folks. And I have a new mic. You could let me know how the mic is sounding as well. Let me pull up some stuff from SofaScore, because SofaScore has helped us. We have a relationship with SofaScore, folks. They give us a lot of data. We work at a lot of data. I'm a football analyst by trade. That's what I do. And, you know, they do give us a lot of cool information and stats. So I'm going to pull out some stats from SofaScore really quickly. And I'm seeing the comments coming in. So Street Drive, Kingley, who do you think? Lots of comments. I'm trying to catch up. Who do you think would be the coach for those upcoming tournaments? A lot of people are saying there's a rumor that Angus Eve is going to return. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. I truthfully don't know. Peru, I remember you from last time. Imagine, welcome to the live stream. Imagine St. Kitts and Nevis showing more fight than Trinidad. And Nathaniel Abrantes, welcome. Goal, Tobago. Ha, I call it. Yes. So it didn't take that long, apparently. So Gilbert is coming on. So, of course, I will make sure my clock is in sync. So I get the time correct. With the clock, of course, folks. So the players are... Let's see if I could get this done correctly. And they're off. I missed it by a couple seconds. So it has resumed. Let me just make sure I get the clock correctly. So, all right. So we're back. We are back. Let me know if you're seeing the clock on the screen. And, yes, the substitute, you're right. So, hey, folks, we have to give some kudos to Big Moves. Big Moves got it right with the substitutions. You know, I should probably start giving out, you know, rewards. You know, giving out rewards. You know, that may help your chances. So, Street Drive, so they're going back to Eve. I don't know if they're going back. I've seen... So, Gil, Mitchell are off, as predicted. And Gilbert and Moore are on. So, earlier in the first half, I said Moore by mistake because my stream... I wasn't seeing it really well. So, Gabon immediately applying the pressure in the second half. So Big Moves, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing how we handle pens. Yeah, you know, I would love to see that. You know, I would love if we go to a draw because the games, folks, if you don't know, if the game is drawn, we go to penalties. So we could have some fun and see how Trinidad Tobago handles that. We're not very good in shootouts, and from what I've seen, I think the last time we got really far in a Caribbean Cup and the Gold Cup, we lost both shootouts. It seems like we do have some nerves. And folks, emotional intelligence. This is a thing you will never hear coaches talking about in Trinidad and Tobago. And I will call all of them out on this. It's a trait that we don't work on. And I think in terms of those aspects of the game, that's a huge factor. You could have really great top-level technical ability and physical ability. And if you're not emotionally intelligent and have that control, you'll lose. So Gabon with a corner. Trinidad doing well with all the crosses so far. I'll give them that. That was a issue that we have improved. Before York came in, I remember the first game we were terrible. We were not winning those headers, but I've seen a massive improvement dealing with those as well. So that has been a massive improvement. Gabon once again doing the attacks down the wings. Oscar Pereira, who coaches Orlando City, got fired. He might be a good choice, yes. Is he a good choice? Can we afford him? Does he want to come here? Those are the questions we have to ask as well. Does he like the TTFA environment? It's not easy, folks. I'm not disrespecting. There's some good people there, but, you know, it's quite a challenge. I have a crazy bet. Thomas Rongen, who coached, who was at Inter Miami, a Dutch guy. You know, he likes these kind of projects. And then there's a problem. We're not very patient. So I'm thinking, you know, we're going to have to start thinking about 2030. I think we hired Dwight York 1 year too late. I mean, if we were going to hire him 1 year too late and expect miracles, we might as well have just kept Angus. You know, just from a logical, taking emotion out of it. That's what I thought we should have done. But, you know, that's just me. Not saying that again, I'm not picking on either coach. I'm saying, you know, we could have just stuck with one because this was one of our best chances to get to the World Cup. And, you know, we saw what happened. You know, I could only imagine if we had Dwight York for maybe 2 years instead of that 1 year, really, you know, how much progress we could have made. So Gabon once again taking the initiative. They are passing the ball around, really getting Trinidad Tobago applying a little bit of pressure there. Trinidad trying to apply some pressure up front. There's a claims for a foul, but I don't think it's enough for a foul. So Gabon once again trying to take initiative, take control of the play, dominate possession. So I see Clovis Mugani. Welcome from Gabon. So I'm seeing a lot of people from Gabon in the live stream. Congratulations, you all are winning 1-0. Welcome to the live stream. You know, be sure to like and subscribe, and you know, continue to support your team. You all really happy right now. Let me know what you think about your team. How do you think the result is going to go? So you know, a lot of respect for the Gabon fans who are in the live stream. Cardin's cutting in, trying to release the ball. A shot on goal, just wide, folks. This is what we needed from Trinidad Tobago. You know, Cardin's usually playing on the right, comes in on the left, cuts in. Very similar area to the goal that Gabon scored. So you can see Cardin's, perhaps Levi getting in his way. Probably should have stepped out of his way to get the shot. That 1 second delay may have cost Cardin's the first shot. But welcome, Clovis. You know, like I said, be sure to like and subscribe if you know to support the channel. Big moves. I'm a Prayers boy, but Angus wasn't bad at all. Oh, you're from Prayers. You're a South guy. I know a lot of Prayers guys. I'm from South as well. You know, I think Cooper. I can see why you like Cooper. Let me know what you think about the situation with Cooper as well. Your thoughts on that. So Trinidad Tobago, that's creating their first real chance. They created like some spaces, but they didn't get to pull the trigger. Rampasad with a long-range effort in the first half. That was over, but you know, Trinidad Tobago showing some initiative. So let me see if I can pull up some data from SofaScore, who is a partner of Trinidad Tobago and EXTV. Alexa keeps coming on. Alexa, stop. My Alexa is talking to me, folks. So Trinidad Tobago, a very poor pass, a giveaway. This could possibly be a goal for Gabon. Very powerful shot on top of the box from a bad giveaway. And this is the lapses in concentration for Trinidad Tobago, where when your fitness level goes down, your decision making goes down. And that's why, you know, physical and mental preparation is so important at this level. And it wasn't far off, folks. It wasn't far off. So let me see. Let me pull up some information from SofaScore. If I can get some data on this game. So I'm not getting much statistics. In terms of the formations, obviously the 4-2-3-1. I could pull up the formation, but I'll have to change the names and it'll take really long. So, but I could give you all a glimpse of the formations. Both teams playing the 4-2-3-1. So Thompson feet was correct. You know, we're 52 minutes in. And in terms of stats, I'm not getting any other stats other than that. But, you know, we have Bryce in goal, Cardines. And, of course, we made some substitutions. Payne, you know, he came back from his injury a while back. And, of course, SofaScore has Gabon with a 65% chance of winning. So, you know, that's interesting. So, Trinidad Tobago forcing a corner. Not bad, I agree. Not bad. If the TTFA did not select a foreign-based coaches and staff who are on the level, TTA is not going to... it's very hard to argue that. Not going to the World Cup 2030, to be honest. But like I said, I think it's a financial issue. So whipped in by Cardines. A header by Trinidad. Goal for Trinidad Tobago. A header. Is that Levi Garcia? Levi Garcia getting a goal, folks. Well done. I think you could see the relief on his face. You could see the relief on his face, folks, because, you know, he had those chances. I'm so happy to finally kind of celebrate a goal, folks. Now, last time we scored, we conceded a goal immediately afterwards. So I am tempering my celebrations. So very lovely delivery from Cardines. And Levi Garcia, from what I know, is not known for his headers. Doing well to use his physicality to rise above the players. Once again, I spoke about that in the first half, folks. Outside Levi and Rampasad, he's the only player that really uses his body and shield. I don't really see players doing that anymore. I don't know why. But Levi Garcia in the 52nd minute scoring. Levi Garcia is our star player. I know he took a lot of criticism. A lot of people were upset that he missed the penalty. But we need to finish, folks. And, kudos to Levi. In the 53rd minute, it's 1-1. Cardines with a very good delivery. Gabon immediately equalizing. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Not equalizing. Within seconds of scoring the goal, Gabon scores. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is exactly what happened against Venezuela. And now a goal, excellent goal from Gabon. Excellent goal from Gabon. But my gosh, my goodness. My goodness, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Gabon literally decided, oh wow, I'm looking at the replay. A thunderous effort from outside the box. My goodness. Not even less than a minute, Gabon equalizes. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And we're back to square one again. Wow. Wow. Gabon, congratulations to you. That's a very good response of 2 quality goals. But wow, Trinidad and Tobago. Wow. People from Gabon, you must be very happy. Clovis, Kevin, and all you guys. A beautiful goal. There's a VAR check that's going on. Maybe we're lucky and they may disallow the goal, folks. Let's see. What are they looking at? I didn't see anything wrong with the goal from Gabon. That's terrible from Trinidad and Tobago. Terrible. And it was VR was looking at something, but this is ridiculous. We can't even have less than 60 seconds of a little bit of joy. I mean, have some composure. I mean, I was literally saying it. I was tempering my celebrations because we were going to equalize, but that quickly, my goodness. The mental fragility to do that is crazy. Now, kudos to Gabon. Trinidad had to know that Gabon was going to try to respond, but I mean, come on. Come on. So once again, we're back to 2-1. Our happiness was short-lived. I'm seeing in the comment section, Gaboni, the fans from Gabon, congratulations to you. I see you all in the live stream. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. There's a red card. So what a crazy game. Trinidad scores, Gabon equalizes, and now there's a red card which works in our favor, folks. And we've had games in our favor that we did not take advantage of. So Nathaniel James was fouled horribly. Wow. Gabon kind of giving us a bit of a gift here. Gabon was now in pole position to kind of take over the game, and now there's a red card on Nathaniel James. I think it's a bit harsh. I mean, I want Trinidad and Tobago to win. It was not a great tackle. It was not a great tackle. A straight red, unless he had a yellow before. I'm hoping Nathaniel is okay. But that is, it's a second yellow card, so that makes sense. So from Enze Bagnama. So we have to now take advantage of this. But let's be honest, folks. Folks, in the stream, I want to hear what everybody's saying in the stream right now. What do you think about us conceding that goal? What do you think about us conceding that goal? So if you're just joining us, folks, a lot of action just took place. A lot of action. So Trinidad and Tobago equalized with Levi Garcia in the 53rd minute. And then within seconds, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this game correctly, but Matuiti, within seconds, we did not even get to sit down and celebrate, equalize. And now there's a red card in the 56th minute for a foul on Nathaniel Garcia, not Garcia, James, by Bagnama. So ridiculous. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. Folks, I really want to hear what you all have to say about that second goal. Cardines once again whipping it in. So now, fumbling the ball, we had an open goal and blasted over the bar. The game has gone officially nuts. And this is the other side of Levi. I love him. He's a friend of mine. Very good dribbler. But a little more composure there from our experienced player. So Cardines whips it in. keeper fumbles, and Levi could have just tapped it in and would have been 2-all. So that second goal from Gabon, Gabon has basically shot them. We shot ourselves in the foot, and then Gabon shot themselves in the foot. So I don't know how this game is going to go. It may end up 2-all. Trinidad and Tobago in the past have had situations like this, and we didn't take advantage of it. So this is where Trinidad and Tobago is going to have to take advantage of the numerical superiority. Don't attack too recklessly, and try to not be like what happened there. I mean, because that goal, I'm so angry about that goal. I'm so angry about it. Welcome, Lawrence Mitchell. Our concentration level is usually lower in the second half. We need to improve. Yeah, correct. I spoke about that before, and you are right. So Trinidad and Tobago now, Cardines in a more offensive role, cutting in. I think with a little bit more composure, we can cause problems. We do have the numbers now, folks. Crossed in. Payne on the other side now. So now Trinidad and Tobago, as a result of the superiority, I feel as if, he could have taken a shot on top of the box here. But Trinidad and Tobago out while Levi taking on his man. Levi's confidence may be a bit up. Free in the box. Well stopped by Gabon. So we are creating chances. Trinidad is trying to kind of unsettle Gabon right now. We don't have the most accurate finishers. So, this is a good test for us to take advantage and show our composure here now, folks. So Trinidad and Tobago has now turned it on a bit now. Gabon giving us a gift, folks, because I think if it was 11 versus 11, I would have been a bit more worried. Levi out on the right side. Levi is always confident with 1v1s, taking on his man. Passing the ball back. Of course, Gabon sitting deeply now with, 9 men in the box, trying to probably start a counter-attack. Dante immediately making a difference from big moves, progressing the ball. Yes, there's a bit of a difference. I'm still mad about that goal, folks, but let's see if we can get an equalizer. Payne out wide, so we're stretching the play now. Now it's up to us to kind of, break through. Now, the danger when you're playing with one man less is that the team could park the bus and, could sniff us out on the counter-attack. Nice ball into the box here. Not, Gabon doing well. Creating some space inside. Could this be a FIFA goal? Could this from... Oh, my goodness. Dante. The ball being well laid off. Classic EAFC run down the wing and cut pass and blast it over the bar. This is what Trinidad and Tobago does. Payne. Just place it in there. Why do we do this? Why do Trinidad and Tobago players do this? I've noticed this all my life. We do not have composure in front of the goal at all. We always hit with too much power. It's all lack of technique. I don't know what it is, but we lack that composure. It's always an issue with too much emphasis on the physicality and sometimes that finesse that we need. Is it nerves? We had 2 very good chances. So we're doing well, creating that chance, getting in there, laying the ball off perfectly. All it required was at least hit the ball on target. Come on. At least hit the ball on target. That should have been it there. So we're creating chances. This is where we have to show our emotional intelligence, folks. This is a part of our game that is a real problem. It's not just the players, but I think it's a bit of a culture. Of course, Gabon, strategically, I think, and intelligently so, taking the pressure off. This is all part of the game, folks. It may frustrate us, but it's part of the game. Sitting down, doing some adjustments. Now, you see, this is where we have to take advantage because Gabon, they're obviously probably going to make some substitutions here, tighten things up at the back. And, our ability to destabilize the team will be a bit different. So, they're calming things down. This is a tactic for those of you who don't know, sometimes defenders. So there's a substitution for Gabon. Jafari, everybody else, I will get to the comments, but there's so much going on. Folks, if you're just joining us, we're approaching the 62nd minute, and there's a lot of action taking place. Levi Garcia equalizing for Trinidad and Tobago in the 53rd minute. Within seconds, Gabon equalizes with a wonderful effort from outside the box. And then within seconds, just a substitution for Gamba, Sambisa off, and Mbemba comes on. So I guess to tighten things up, because the inevitable Trinidad and Tobago onslaught. We have created 2 chances since. Both times, Gilbert and Levi should have done better. And once again, our finishing has let us down. Cardines, Trinidad and Tobago more on the offensive. And, we're going to have to take advantage. This is where Trinidad and Tobago, we have been fortunate that Gabon, made that error and got the red card. I don't think it's a red card. And this just shows that I'm not biased. But we should at least be at least 2-1 or at least 2-2 by now, at least. It should have been that. And that second goal conceded by Trinidad Tobago was awful, folks. Awful. Absolutely awful. That is ridiculous. We hear this saying, you know, you're most dangerous after you just scored a goal. And we just underlined that stereotype. So Gabon doing their best to try to slow things down, and Trinidad Tobago doing their best to try to tune things up. So Gabon taking their time with the throw-in. This is where we're going to see some game management from both teams. Trinidad Tobago obviously trying to turn things up because of the numerical superiority. But we also have to show some composure. Like, for example, you know, we're going really quickly, but then losing possession. That only works in Gabon's favor. You know, we have to be able to maintain our composure, pass the ball. And, you know, Gabon, you know, look, there's a chance for Gabon. A very good tackle, but, you know, with the numerical superiority, we shouldn't be having that situation. There was a 1v1 and an excellent tackle there. Now, Gabon has a corner. You could see Mockett and those guys warming up on the sidelines, I think. But an exceptional tackle there. But you see, the temptation to attack recklessly leads to these kind of things. When you pass and you lose the ball quickly, they can just go on. So, Clove, what do you think about this game? Clovis Mukagani. Clovis Mukagani. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Forgive me. Let me know. People from Gabon, let me know what you think about this game. Gabon with a corner cleared by Trinidad Tobago. We have numerical superiority, so, you know, it's very annoying to see us in this particular position. Gabon doing well to manage the game, considering they lost a man. But people from Gabon, what do you think about the red card? Do you think it was fair? I personally think, you know, it was a mistake. I don't think it was ill intent. But it was 2 yellow cards. I did a... Okay, Clovis. Tell me if I did a good job. And folks, if you're joining us, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It really supports. I'm wearing my Trinidad Tobago jersey, same as the team. So Trinidad Tobago now with a bit of a gift, because we conceded a very... I would consider, I won't say sloppy, but, you know, it should have like a... Levi with a 1v1 here, I think. Can it be 2-all? Open goal. My goodness. What is wrong with Trinidad Tobago? It wasn't Levi Garcia, sorry. I couldn't see who it was. The entire goal at our mercy, and he scoffs the shot. You see, this is where the composure and the mental aspect of our game is very important. If we had mental composure, we would not have conceded that second goal. And we have now created 3 very good chances and wasted every single one. Not half chances. And other teams at this level, if they create those chances, would have taken that. And that's the difference, folks. That is the difference. You can train, you can practice, but that aspect of the game, you know, in addition to the speed of passing and whatever, is important. And I don't want to hear after the game, well, you know, we created a lot of chances and whatever. And, you know, it's the coach's job to say that. But the players in this case have to take some responsibility. And yes, I do know some of them. And come on, you know, I'm not just going to, you know, glaze all the time. I want the players to win. We should have been at least... It should have been 3-2 by now. The second goal should not even have been conceded. So Trinidad Tobago now passing the ball around. And the thing is, each time you miss an opportunity, you allow Gabon to compose themselves. Kevin Yanuche had the final said... You may be right. It may end up 2-all in the end. I think taking a shot from distance right now is really... you know... Not the wisest choice, but you can see Cardin's trying to pump up the troops. So in the 66th minute, what a crazy game, folks. I personally, so Cardin's, I mean, he seems to be a very talented wide player with both feet. Why not? You know, we have to show a bit more composure. We do have them a bit on the ropes. Gabon does have the tendency to concede. And now that we have one player less, Gabon is trying to do damage control. And we have to take advantage of this. And this is where, forget tactics, just the composure of our players. We've seen 3 chances wasted so far. That last one was probably the most glaring. You know, when we give away the ball like that. When you give away the ball and you have an extra player, it's very, very, it's not very good. And we also have to make sure when you attack, just because you have the extra man, you don't just attack recklessly, lose the ball. Gabon doing their best to try to waste some time. The ref is... understandably so, if you have one player less. I want to believe that miss was because Rian was on his weaker foot. But Jafari, between you and I, these are international footballers. Not like us, we play recreationally. I mean, I played university level. That's the highest I played. You should be at least at the international level to at least do that. I think I heard Roy Keane and a couple other players talk about how, hearing international players talk about their weaker foot is terrible. What does that say about our standard of football? But yes, it is his weaker foot. But I think he had enough time. He had the player on the ground. He could have stopped and show that composure. So, I mean, that is one argument we can't make. But then we had the header a couple seconds ago from Levi. So, I may be sounding a bit more harsh than usual. But this is how you have to be at international level. You have to be ruthless. Take those chances. Now we're slowing the game down a bit. We're calming things down, but we have to not make sure it's too calm because then it works in Gabon's favor. So Levi Garcia trying to get in between the lines, whipping the ball out to the left, trying to create some space. Gabon, I think, doing a good job kind of parking the bus to an extent and looking for the counter-attack. Levi looking for the overlapping run. Nice through ball. Payne unselfishly, he should have been a bit selfish there and taken a shot. I did see that the last time he played. I can't remember the last time he played. Look, I'm seeing the replay. The replay makes it look a lot worse, folks. He could have just stopped and cut back the ball. There is no excuse for that one. I think that was really poor. Payne should have taken a shot there. Kevin, there are no draws in the FIFA series. I don't think he knows. Let's keep it respectful. I think he thinks that we will go to full time in 2-2 the 2-2 draw. I think that's what he meant, Kingsley. Mohammed, Mohammed, let me know where you're from. Welcome to the stream. What do you think about this crazy game? For those of you who are not watching this game live, even if you're angry at how Trinidad is playing, you are missing a pretty crazy game. There's a lot of action, at least now. Sometimes I could do it if we actually win and it's boring. So this is not good. Gabon, keeping possession and, running down the clock as much as they can. A bit of a deep cross that was reasonably dealt with. I'm still angry about the second goal we conceded. And I'm even more annoyed about the chances we've wasted so far. So, we're on the 70th minute. And we have created 3 or 4 chances since the red card. And have wasted every single one of them. So everybody in the live stream, let me know what you think is going on. What a crazy game. Can we come back? Can we equalize? Can we get the win? Folks, like I said, and of course, my subscriber goal, folks, I'm trying to get to 10,000. We just crossed the 3,000 mark. So every subscriber helps. Be sure to like and subscribe. Cardines down the wing. Welcome, Patrice Abreu. Did I pronounce that correctly? From Brazil. Welcome. We have fans from Brazil as well. We have fans from all over the world. Welcome to the live stream. Are you looking at this game? Tell me, as a Brazilian, are you a Trini Brazilian or are you a Brazilian? And who are you supporting? And, what do you think about Brazil's chances heading into the World Cup? We talk about that on our show as well, our weekly episodes. So welcome, folks. And like I said, and there's a lot of action going on, but don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials here, folks. It helps the channel. Gabon, doing their best to try to run the clock down. And to be fair, under a lot of pressure, doing well to play out the pressure of Trinidad Tobago. And this is ridiculous. With us having one less man, Gabon has a chance on goal and still managing to create not a great shot. But we have to be careful. Yes, we are chasing the goal and we have one man extra. But to concede possession and giving away the ball like what just happened just now, we have to show that composure. Attack, yes. But attack with intelligence. And we're not doing that. I feel as if, Gabon... Once again, Gabon with a 1v1. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Gabon with a chance on goal. We have extra men and Gabon are creating chances. And this is kudos to Gabon's tactical approach. Gabon in the last minute have had 2 clear chances on goal. So that's crazy. Welcome, Lawrence. Mitchell 4257, welcome to the live stream. We need Real Gil to come on to open up the Gabon defense. His speed and dribbling ability can draw fouls and get that equalizer. Wow, I see why commentators have to keep drinking. Stephen John TT, welcome. This is so poor, they're giving up the ball. Yes, this is ridiculous. We have one extra man, and, you know, we have conceded almost, could have been 2 goals against us in the last couple of minutes because we're giving away the ball. It's almost like we're looking like the team that has 1 man less. And, you know, this is kudos to Gabon. Whatever tactical instructions their coach gave them, they're doing a very good job. Now, Trinidad has to ensure that they don't just give away the ball like that. Like, this works in Gabon's favor. Now they can keep possession. They're creating chances. Trinidad Tobago now has to try to keep some composure and keep the ball. You know, James getting the ball. You know, Levi trying to release. You know, we're still playing like we're 11 versus 11. We should be able to numerically get the ball. You know, Trinidad Tobago, I'm very annoyed about how we're handling this game. Very annoyed about how we're handling this game, folks. They have given us a shot in the arm, you know, getting that red card. We have created chances. And if we lose this game, there are no excuses. The players are going to have to take a hard look at themselves. Gabon making some substitutions. So all this disrupts the time, runs it down. Stephen John Gill was on in the first half. Not so. He was replaced by Moore. Correct. I didn't get to see the lineup properly, folks. So I'm just going to pull up from SofaScore. That's refreshing right now while they're making the substitutions. So Mitchell, James, Garcia, Gill. So yeah, that was... I'm trying to make sure it's the updated squad. So, you know, Gill, there was a substitution. And... well, my screen froze for a second there, folks. So I don't want to move too much away from the screen, but Trinidad ready to make some subs. So Averlant and Matuiti for Gabon are coming off. And Kambin Nambele is coming on, and Lemina. For Trinidad Tobago, I see some substitutions, some subs warming up on the sideline. I would have liked to see maybe Muckett come on. But Trinidad Tobago, Gabon is now doing a very good tactical job. This is where game management comes in. Gabon have managed to, obviously they're 1 man less, so they're sitting back and closing the passing lanes. It's not pretty, but what it does is it forces Trinidad to try to create openings, and then they could try to create a counter-attack. So when Trinidad comes into their attacking third, you know, they just kind of shut things down. So they allow us to come in, and then they close us down. And exactly what I said, the commentators curse. They closed, they forced a foul from Rampersad, and now they have possession. This is not good game management by us. And Gabon, the coach deserves a lot of good marks for that one. Welcome Kwesi Evans, 5872. Bring on the comments for some reason. I can't see them fully. Oh, there we go. Bring on Gill, keep composure and penetrative. Yes, correct. But we're not keeping composure. Our final third messing up. TTFA messing up. Where's Muckett? Yeah, I think Muckett should come on. So Rampersad gets a yellow. And I think kudos to Gabon. Gabon is managing this game well. They did shoot themselves in the foot with a red card, but the coach deserves a lot of credit. We are not composed. We are playing like the team that's 1 man down. And Gabon is playing with more intelligence right now. They are the team that's holding on to the ball, a bit more decisive with their passing. And you would think that we had 1 man down. And Trinidad Tobago is kind of chasing the game. They're drawing fouls. Cardines trying to clear the ball. And you can see we're scrapping, just clearing the ball out. No composure. Trinidad has lost composure right now. Gabon looks like the more composed side. While we did create some chances, now we're just clearing the ball recklessly. Rampersad trying to do his best to try to calm things down. And, you know, you would think we were the team with 1 man less. And Gabon, like I said, intelligently, they are pressing in a very intelligent way where they are allowing Trinidad to get up to a certain point and then close us. And then just play for the counter-attack. So, you know, while it's good for us to attack and turn things up, we are not doing a good job with the superiority. So, in the 77 minutes, Trinidad Tobago out wide. Gabon doing very well to close down the passing lanes. And the thing is, you can't say they're parking the bus because they're defending very well and then attacking. So, you know, kudos to Gabon. Once again, an unforced error. Rampersad slipping on the ball there. So once again, is it psychological? Is it that, the panic of not knowing what to do? Sometimes that hurts a team. So Trinidad Tobago, Cardines out on the left. Whipping in across. Well dealt with by Gabon. And, Gabon, have no need to really come out of the box. Just close the passing lanes. Nathaniel, dribbling. Trying to create some space. He is very confident on the ball. Trinidad trying to create some combination plays. That should be a fall for Trinidad Tobago. And that's more like it. A bit more combination play. Nathaniel James is very good at taking on players, forcing those falls and dribbling. Cardines was rushing over to take the free kick. Levi giving him some instructions. Nathaniel James is also a pretty good free kick taker. So Cardines and him are having a discussion who's going to take it. So Trinidad Tobago now, folks, we're approaching. It's the 78th minute. It's 2-1 Gabon and 1 player less. We have created, since the red card, several chances. We got a goal from Levi Garcia in the 53rd minute, but Gabon instantly took the lead within 60 seconds. There was a red card. Rowley must go, myself. Okay, I don't know what that means, but all right. Explain to me. Big moves. Yeah, it's a joy watching that. Yeah, I love to watch him play. I think he's a very good attacking player. Exciting for the future. So a bit of a fake out. Cardines whipping it to the far post. Whoa! The keeper fumbling, and we could have gotten a free header. Clovis, what do you think? We have people from Gabon in the live stream here, folks. What a game. So Trinidad are creating chances, but I don't want at the end of this game where we hear, well, we created chances and we could have won. This is where we have to, this is why we play these games. We need to take our chances. So Cardines, I'm seeing, it looks like Rochford from the back of the head there. Coming on. I can't see the other player on my feed. So he's trying to help the ref speed things along. So the Trinidad players are annoyed with the fourth official. So Payne is coming off, and Rochford is coming on. So, folks, there's a lot of comments, and I'll get to that. But what a game, folks. What a game. Like I said, keep the comments coming. Let me know. Like, subscribe. But while you're doing that, it helps the channel. Click the notification bell. A lot of action, folks. This game was not boring. I mean, if you had to... Anyway, let's talk about this afterwards. So, Cardines with a corner. Not a very good corner. To the near post. Well cleared by Gabon. Gabon now intelligently applying pressure. Whipping the ball out to Cardines, who I think has had a great game. One of our... I think a great addition to the national team. I call him Carlos Edwards reincarnated. Trinidad Tobago with the long balls. A bit of a header. The keeper just doing enough to keep the ball out. Levi Garcia was trying to read the bounce, but pretty good header. And of course, Gabon playing on the counter-attack. Bryce, I felt as if should have just passed the ball. You see, that's where, but because of the pressure Gabon put, forced Bryce to kind of just kick the ball out. So Cardines, he's one of our main attacking outlets. Doing well to spread the play. Levi Garcia out on the right side. 1-2 play. Levi in. Saved by the keeper. Classic FIFA move, folks. Going down the line and cutting in. So we're creating chances. Now Trinidad need to step it up a little bit. Gabon doing really well. If Gabon beat Trinidad, it's going to be a different problem. Yes. So we need to get a good result here, folks. So we're starting the combination plays. Gabon. Now Gabon. Clearly dangerous on the counter-attack. Some flair from Gabon. Doing really well. The substitutions have made an intelligent difference. Intelligently holding on to the ball. Forcing Trinidad to chase the ball. And like I said, they deserve some credit for how they've handled the game. The red card was a disaster for them. But, they are pressing when they can. Once again, winning the ball. And doing really well to hold on to the ball and possibly launching an attack, which is very annoying for Trinidad Tobago because we're chasing. Cardines doing well. Switching back to his right side. Cardines has been all over the pitch. So it was a header from, I think, Nathaniel James, forcing a very good save from the keeper. So we are creating chances just to take those chances now. And like I said, folks, during the campaign, we were creating chances, but not finishing. Will that be our undoing again? A lot of action, folks. So Trinidad and Tobago, Gabon making some substitutions. Much to the annoyance, I feel as if, and you can't be mad with Gabon. You know, they're doing some time wasting. And the goalkeeper once again, and you can see, I know exactly what he's doing, folks. And that's what we should have been doing. We should have slowed the game down when we scored the first goal. I mean, when we scored our goal. Ref should give him a yellow, but we all know what he's doing. Ideally, the ref should add on time, but they're wasting time, which is tactically very smart. They're taking the pace out of the game, so now Trinidad and Tobago. So the referee's gesturing to him, hey, you need to come and get the player off. But what it does is, folks, you know, young kids, if you're learning out there, this is a very intelligent way of kind of, if you're under pressure, that's the way to kind of kill the clock a little bit. And Trinidad just has to sit there and wait. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. So, Clovis, you're probably happy because I think, I hope Levi Garcia is not coming off. Is he? Okay, no. That was just the angle. So, Trinidad once again in possession. Gabon eating up some precious minutes there. You know, Trinidad and Tobago for national pride and, you know, just show some pride. I'm very annoyed how we conceded that second goal, and we'll talk about that after the game. But now there's a lot of action going. If you're just joining us, folks, we're in the 83rd minute. It is 2-1. Gabon has one player less. Trinidad and Tobago scored in the 53rd minute. Gabon equalized immediately. Took the lead immediately, and then immediately got a red card afterwards. And Trinidad and Tobago has been creating chances. We had a lot of chances that we wasted, but, you know, Trinidad is trying to take advantage of the numerical superiority, but Gabon, to their credit, have managed the game well. They've closed down the passing lanes and forcing Trinidad to make errors and got a few counterattacks on their own. On their own, sorry. So, you know, I would love for us to equalize and at least go to a shootout. I feel as if Gabon has Trinidad and Tobago where they are, and you can see some frustration from Rampasad. They are pressing, allowing Trinidad to come to the half line and then pressing selectively and then cutting off the passing lanes, which is very intelligent. Highly intelligent. And Trinidad and Tobago now trying to find gaps, because now we have to find gaps and then try not to give away the ball and get the counter-attack. Trinidad and Tobago cutting in on the inside. Is that a call for a penalty? It was a decent shout. Cardin's getting fouled in the box. But I feel as if that should have been a call. The ref should take a look at that. This is a bit frustrating. I think the ref is taking a look at it. So could this be a penalty for Trinidad and Tobago? There's one player I'm very impressed with for Gabon since he came on. Let me see if I can get his stats really quickly. But there's a decision for a penalty, folks. Is it happening? They're looking. Some people in the comments are saying bring back Angasif. I will get to the comments. Everybody, like I said, while you get a chance, is it a penalty? I don't think so. I don't like it. I think he got a... Actually, it could be a penalty. I think it is a penalty. Looking at this angle... One angle, it looked like a clean tackle, but I think the decision has been made and there's no penalty for Trinidad and Tobago. From one angle, it looked like he got the ball fully. So, we didn't get the penalty, folks, and I think that's the right call. I think I'm seeing Mocket coming on. I think if Trinidad don't at least get an equalizer in this game, a lot of questions are going to have to ask. You know, a lot of people pick on the coaches, but the mentality and the game management of how we conceded the second goal, there's a lot of questions. You know, yes, we could say we created chances, but I have to say the problem that we've had for a long time now, that composure in front of goal, once again a giveaway for Trinidad and Tobago. But Trinidad and Tobago, Cardin's working. I would say my MVP for the match would be Cardin's. Levi, of course, working really hard. Levi Garcia all over the pitch, doing really well. Gabon trying to draw a foul. Doing well, whipping in the ball, a bit of a long-range shot, which I think sums up a bit of the frustration for Trinidad and Tobago and the lack of ideas. Of course, Gabon playing for some time, rolling around, Mocket's coming on. I feel the substitution should have taken place a little bit earlier. So Pierre is coming off, and Mocket is coming on. So, you know, we're going all attack now. All attack. Yes, Dante has made a difference. We all know Gabon is kind of milking this as much as they can. Clovis, you're probably very happy right now. And I can't be mad at you if you're happy. Your national team is winning. Considering they have one man less. I felt as if that shot was a bit unnecessary there. There's a player from Nigeria. I'm sorry, from Gabon. What am I saying? That came on. That is doing a really great job when they do get possession for Gabon and holding up the ball really well. I want to get his name correct. But Clovis, I know it's painful for me, but I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I would at least like us to equalize and go to penalties. Come on. So we're approaching the 89th minute. I don't know how much extra time we're going to have. But, you know. Yeah, so this is the same guy. I can't see his number. But he's really physical and doing a good job holding up the ball, taking pressure off of Gabon. Sobre Ochoa, official, welcome. Ronald Samuel, Trinidad all the way, yes, correct. Even though I criticize, it doesn't mean I don't support my team. Cardines, cutting down the wings here. Levi, all over the pitch, free roaming role. Levi is definitely trying to take the game at the scruff of the neck. He's willing to drop deep if he has to. You know, Gabon doing well to cut out the passing lanes. Trinidad trying to find that opening, so this works in their favor. This is where we need our players. Cardines whipping it in. It looks like a handball. He's calling for a handball. Ref not really calling it, so it's a throw-in. I'm hoping we get a decent amount of extra time. Cardines, they seem to have a good spirit of the game here. So we did get the handball. It is a free kick for Trinidad and Tobago. Can we get another header? Masood Khan, welcome to the live stream. You know, Daniels, I want to meet her. Any sources you can tell her. Oh my God. I will read the comments, but there's a lot of action. So 89 minute, we have a free kick. Cardines whips it in. Could this be a goal for us? Equalizer! Levi Garcia once again stepping up for Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful delivery. It's almost a copy and paste for Trinidad and Tobago. And Levi Garcia. Now I'm afraid to celebrate. I'm afraid to celebrate because I don't know if we're going to equalize. Levi, I'm really happy for you that you got that goal. So Cardines whipping it in the 89th minute. Levi Garcia. Ball headed back to Levi Garcia. 2-all Trinidad and Tobago. So are we getting those penalties, folks? Are we getting those penalties? So Levi Garcia once again stepping in to save us, folks. I can't see who did it. They headed ball back. No, folks, I'm afraid to celebrate. Remember what happened last time. So if they didn't learn their lesson, they're going to learn it now. But this is what Trinidad and Tobago needs. That fight and calmness. There's, you know, that ability. So we have to ensure Gabon is probably thinking, hey, let's take another shot on goal. So I don't know. There's 5 minutes of extra time. So let me load that up on the screen there, folks. So there's extra time. Second half extra. According to the ref, I hope you're seeing on the screen. Folks, you see how I do these streams for you all to make it look fancy? I don't mess around, folks. I don't mess around at all. I don't know why my clock is saying the wrong thing. Let me fix that really quickly. So let's hope we don't concede another goal. Let's hope we don't concede another goal. And, you know, Gabon tried it, and I don't blame them. It seems like Gabon has a kickoff glitch. You know the kickoff glitch, folks, in FIFA? Or EAFC now, folks. I'm sorry. Gabon hit us the kickoff glitch, folks, so they're calming things down. Trinidad and Tobago, if I was Trinidad and Tobago, I would be smart. I would even try to go for the win, but intelligently so. I don't want Trinidad to just go for the win and then just lose. You know, we have to use our brains a little bit. Because we could risk going all in for the win and then lose the game. But we do have them as sharks, blood in the water. I think that's Levi on the ball. Yes, could this be a third? This is a penalty. Wow! That should be a penalty. There is no way that's not a penalty. And of course, Gabon now on the counter-attack, which is dangerous. Doing well to snuff it out. But that should have been at least a look for a penalty. That is ridiculous. The ref should at least look at it. At least look at it. You know, Levi Garcia beating his man. That should have been a penalty for Trinidad, folks. And the ref just completely ignoring it, of course, because Trinidad and Tobago never gets those calls. And Gabon now trying to launch an attack. Quincy Evans, I'll get to that comment just now. Was Angus Eve given the opportunity? His track record shows a draw with Mexico. We beat Curacao in the CONCACAF League. But no. I think listen, he got some good results. But folks, back to the game. A penalty appeal for Trinidad and Tobago. It should have been a penalty. Levi once again showing how dangerous he is in those 1v1 situations. Mocket on there. Far post cross. This could be it. Oh my goodness. What poor control. A beautiful far post cross by Mocket. We're 3 minutes into extra time. Trinidad clearly want to snatch this result. They're smelling blood, but can we concede? And once again, the player, who is that for Gabon? He has done a great job for Gabon. Physically winning the ball. You see, that's the thing. Jaren Jackie, I love him, but he did not need to just kick the ball away like that. But they're so afraid of conceding a goal. Now we've given the ball to Gabon. Gabon can now take pressure off themselves, push some players up, and now we have to defend. I think with a little bit more composure. So Justin Garcia is off, and David is on. And all of a sudden now, but I would love to see a replay of that Levi Garcia foul. So Trinidad and Tobago has to be very careful. You see how quickly the game could change? I want to get the player from Gabon. I've been very impressed with him since he came on. His physical presence has caused Trinidad problems, even though we have more men. So Mocket is on, doing a great job. I like Mocket and James. Rochford out wide. Cutting in. Shot on goal. Wow! Very good shot. But unfortunately, in the end, it was just wide. Can Gabon... The thing is, folks, Gabon, Clovis, what a game. So 2-2. Somebody predicted we'd end at least and then go to penalties, 2-2. So, cut back. Very decent shots. Not a bad shot at all. I figured he could have probably cut the Mocket and those guys. So you see the decision making and calmness, composure. That's why we use the word composure. I think with all things considered, Gabon did a good job conceding because they could have easily been 4-2 by now to slow things down. Yeah, Mocket is great. I like Mocket. Mocket, to me, is that kind of natural successor to Molino. That sort of creative player. Once again, I can't see the number of that guy, but he's very impressive for Gabon. He came on as a sub, and I think it's number 11 for Gabon. 17. Number 17 for Gabon. What's his name? I want to get his name quickly. Number 17 for Gabon. So it's the penalties now, folks. Penalties. So Yanis Mbemba has very much impressed me, folks. Very much impressed me. So we're going to penalties, folks. We got that. We were losing. And now it is now... We go to penalties, folks. We go to penalties. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes, folks. Can Trinidad and Tobago handle that? Let's have some fun with this, folks. Let's have some fun with this. We are not, in the past we have shown we're not very composed with penalties. Folks, if you are not watching this live stream or this game, you are missing out. It's one of the most exciting games we had in a while. I see a lot of relief on the Trinidad and Tobago players. We should, kudos for them for coming back. I don't want to be too critical, but I think we could have won this game in full time. I think conceding the second goal, we'll talk about that in the match reaction. My screen behind has changed again. Let me fix that. Apparently Spider-Man is in the background. So yes. What a game, folks. I do not regret waking up early to do this. So Lawrence, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of Angus fans. And yes, this is a result-oriented game, and he got good results. It is what it is. But I also saw a lot of pros with Dwight York. And, so, a lot of people are pro-Angus. A lot of people are not for Angus. Who knows? It's who we can afford. I have to catch my breath a little bit, folks. So, folks, if you're just joining us, it's full time. And in the 90th minute, and we're going to a penalty shootout. What a dramatic second half, folks. Levi Garcia scored in the 53rd minute. And then Gabon immediately took the lead within seconds. And then within a minute, Gabon had a player sent off. And, Trinidad and Tobago were fighting. And eventually we created 4 or 5 chances. And eventually in the end, Levi Garcia getting 2 goals. And now we go to a shootout. So this would be a good way to end the tournament on a high. Even though, I don't know how this game is going to go, but it showed a lot of problems. The lack of concentration for us to concede that second goal. The finishing, once again, is a problem. Levi Garcia finally kind of breaking that duck and getting some goals. Interestingly enough, it was headers. Cardine. So right now the teams are doing their huddles. So, folks, that's a very good question, Kingley. Is Jabari Bryce good at penalty saves? And do our players, the last 2 penalty shootouts I saw us do, I think it was in the Gold Cup, and both times it was with Stephen Hart, and we lost both. I think once was a Caribbean Cup final against Jamaica, and we lost that shootout. And I think one of them was a CONCACAF Gold Cup. If anybody in the comment section knows, let me know. Masood Khan, please, sir, tell us any idea to meet Danny Daniels. I want to. Okay, boss. Squid League and Clovis and the people from Gabon. Listen, folks, let me know who do you think is going to win. And folks, I'm going to ask you all before the penalty shootouts, the shootouts take place. I want you to take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it to all your friends out there who are not watching this game right now. Do that because it really helps the channel. And of course, you can purchase merch and support the channel. What a game, folks. What a game, folks. And we'll be doing a reaction afterwards. What happened during the Hart era? So Hart was actually one of our best eras since the World Cup. Big moves. Stephen Hart, I think, was our best coach. I think if we kept Stephen Hart in the 2018 campaign, we'd have made it. But there was a change in presidency, and he was ushered out. We did really well in Gold Cups. We got some good results. And unfortunately, we were knocked out in a penalty shootout. In one of the Gold Cups he was coaching in. And, a lot of people agree that Stephen Hart, and he wasn't treated well, like many other coaches as well. Whether you love them or hate them. So Cardines is going to take the first penalty, folks. Wow. Penal. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. Let's see how that's going to go. So Cardines, folks. Penalty. Nerves. Let's see how it's going to go. Drum roll, folks. I'm guessing Kingley, you're probably a few seconds ahead. I didn't see it yet. Did he score? So Cardines, plays Crystal Palace. I don't know if he's still there. I think he's still there. What happened to Denzel Smith? I'll get to that, but let's do the shootout. So Rio Cardines is going to take the first penalty. Let's see how it goes. A little bit of gamesmanship from the Gabon keeper. And it's saved. Wow. Once again, Trinidad and Tobago could never give us an easy time. It was a great save. It actually wasn't a bad shot. Listen, as a Trinidad and Tobago fan, I don't know if we're paying for the corruption of the former FIFA vice president and the karma is coming back to us. But my goodness, we can't even enjoy a shootout. So, save by Gabon on Cardines. And that when the first kick taker misses, it really sends a horrible message. So, already a bad move for us. So now, advantage Gabon. Can Gabon take an advantage here? Penalty for them. Can it be saved? Oh, yes. Goal for Gabon. So 1-0 in the shootout so far. I wish we had somebody like John Michael Williams right now. He was very good in shootouts. Guessing the right direction, but the pace of it was too much. And he couldn't get onto it. Niyami Kayema, welcome. You can watch the game on FIFA Plus. Rochefort is coming on. I have to admit, Trinidad players don't look confident at all. They're walking with their heads down. Your composure when you're walking up is very important. Goalkeepers can read this now, especially the very good goalkeepers. Rochefort is not looking overly confident, if I'm being very honest with you. We need him to score, folks. We need him to score. Anything but a miss, and I think we're done. We need him to score. Come on. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Very good penalty. So he may have looked like he was nervous, but beautiful way. I love penalties like that. Up in the corner, that's how I used to take penalties. I always believe up in the corner if you're going to go for me. I'm not a huge fan of those kind of placement penalties. It's just impossible. Of course, the margin for error is very small, but a very good penalty. So now we're going to have to try. Come on, folks. Send that vibes. Let's hope Gabon misses. Gabon fans, I'm sorry. But, you know, let's see. So it's 1-1. You know, Gabon has the advantage. We have to hope we get a save here now. So let's see, folks. Let's see, folks. Do some Debo Martinez antics. Save! Well done. What a save, folks. Listen, this has to be one of the most exciting games we've ever seen in a while. What a save. Can Trinidad and Tobago keep our composure and get this? Terrible penalty, great save. Great save. That's a horrible penalty. You know, that's what I was talking about with those placement shots. So, the next penalty kick taker, Trinidad and Tobago. It's now 2-1. Why did my stream just move? So Powder is coming up to take his penalty. One of my windows closed there. Come on, Powder. We need some composure. We need it. Come on, Trinidad. Candice saying Gabon will win. So let's see. Both teams have missed their one kick each. Let's see. Let's see. Once again, a save. This is what Trinidad and Tobago does to me. This is what Trinidad and Tobago does to me. This is exactly how the last shootout went. It seems as if we are allergic to winning, folks. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like Trinidad and Tobago, we get opportunities and we fumble. That was a terrible penalty. That's, if anybody who does goalkeeping coaching will know, that's terrible. So we had the advantage. We gave it away. We had the advantage again. We gave it away. You know, that's infuriating to me. And I was concerned about that because I've been watching Trinidad and Tobago football properly for the last 20 years. And, you know, that composure in front of goal and in shootouts, that psychological aspect. So we need a save here, folks. Do we get it? Another save, folks. Another save. Another save. Ronald Samuel, I understand how you're feeling. You know, we have to suffer. The only other team I know that I suffer because the team that I love, which is Argentina. You know, suffering apparently is the way it goes. So another save. So come on, Trinidad. Somebody step up to the plate. Take advantage. Both teams are taking terrible penalties. Good job to Bryce for saving it. That's the perfect height for a goalkeeper. That's the perfect height for a goalkeeper. So both teams missing 2 penalties. Ridiculous. You know, Trinidad and Tobago. My goodness, why does this keep happening? Oh, there we go. So, come on. Can we do this? Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Come on. Cheeky goal. What a cheeky goal. A chip. That's the kind of composure we needed to kind of, would you call that a panika, folks? Very disrespectful, I would say, but shows the kind of composure we need to score a goal. We needed that. We needed somebody with composure to step up and score a goal. Clearly somebody behind the goal likes us. One of the neutrals. I see a little guy celebrating. This is a guy, he had a very good game, folks. When he came on, I think he made a tremendous difference for Gabon. He was able to hold up the ball. He's physically very tall. He was able to create problems with Trinidad and Tobago. But let's hope he misses now, folks. Come on, come on. Another save! Another save, folks. So Trinidad and Tobago, Bryce redeeming himself. Wayne Chinalong, we just can't learn, and everyone wants to know why we support this level. So, folks, you know, don't count us off yet. Bryce coming good in the penalty shootout. I was singing the praise of the guy, I can't remember his name, but what a save. What a save. Redeeming himself. What's going on here? Is it a little bit of antics? So, you know, it's interesting, you know, like all goalkeepers do antics, and I have a peeve with this. Because I'm an Argentina fan, but apparently only when Debo Martinez does antics, it's a problem. It's part of the game. So the penalty is being retaken. I don't understand what's going on here. What is going on here? What am I seeing here? I'm very confused. I am very, 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 very confused here. Did I miss something? Did my stream jump? My stream is showing very distorted. What did I miss? What did I miss? I think my stream may have jumped a couple seconds, folks. Because something is happening. So I'm guessing you guys are ahead. Because Levi Garcia and my stream is stepping up to take the kick. So I don't know if the people in the comment section, you all are seeing something I'm not seeing. But it's Levi. Come on, Levi. We need you. Come on, Levi. Come on, Levi. Come on, Levi. My God. My goodness. Levi has now missed 2 penalties. And, you know, listen, folks. I literally don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. We had our chance multiple times to win this game. I think this is a perfect example of what I was talking about with our mental composure here. I think my stream jumped a shot. Because, am I mistaken, but did Gabon get to retake a penalty? Well, I mean, that's it there for us, folks. I think we are allergic to winning, apparently. We are allergic to winning. It seems like we just have that thing. So we need Bryce. Come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce. Come on. Come on. We need you to save this. Come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce. And that's it. That is it. We had the game in our hands. We came back. We missed shootouts once again. This is exactly how the shootout went last time, and we lost. Trinidad Tobago loses in the shootout, throwing away this game as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely throwing away this game. I would not be happy. I see Derek King is smiling. I mean, I know him, but I would not be smiling. I am very, very, very angry about this game. Not disappointed. I'm angry. I've always been disappointed, but I'm angry. I'm angry at how we let them score the second goal. I'm angry how we wasted chances. I'm angry how whenever we have a penalty shootout, we can't seem to keep our composure enough. And, you know, this is terrible. This is terrible. You know, honestly, this is a problem, folks. This is not a Derek King problem. This is a Trinidad Tobago culture problem. I've known since all the way back in the Soca Warrior days, we have not been composed with penalties. I remember in a big game against Mexico, you know, fortunately we won. Stern John missed a penalty. We lack that emotional ruthlessness you need to be in games like this. So, of course, it's showing the series here. We end up with 1 point. But we have this problem. And it's a problem that our coaches at all levels have to start taking a look in the mirror. We have this emphasis, and I'm pointing a finger at every single coach. We have a major emphasis on physical attributes in players. That player is a big player. He looks like he could play, and he will train, and he'll have the physical attributes. But the IQ, the brains, and we have players who have it, but they don't get picked. I've seen players that are very good. They don't pick them because they're too small, or even ethnicity is an issue, folks. I know some, you know, players who they said, you know, this player doesn't get picked for that particular reason. Stupid reasons. If you can play, you can play. And this mental aspect of the game has really hurt us. And that's something, you know, I think it's a reflection. You can't just coach that overnight. It's something that starts at our level, at all the way down. And, you know, we always talk about the tactics and the physicality and so on. But that composure, that ruthlessness, that ability to be calm, emotional control, we don't have it. We clearly don't have it. We clearly don't have it. And like I said, it's not even a Derek King problem. It's a football culture problem with us. We don't train our players at the fundamental levels in all aspects of international football. We don't. We really don't. And I will do a reaction to this video a little later. In fact, I may do one right after this game. What do you all think? I'll close the stream and then do another one. What do you all think? Let me know. But that's the problem with Trinidad and Tobago. And we could speak about tactics, we could speak about squad players, we could speak about physicality, but our overemphasis on physicality. We have players who train all the time, they're physically fit. And even that is debatable. York touched on it as well, the psychological component. Stephen Hart was a major advocate for that, and he spoke about that, where we do not have that emotional control that is required at this international level. It has cost us, and this is not a new problem, folks. This is not a Derek King problem. This is not an Angus Eve problem. This is not a York problem. This is a coaching problem. We don't pick our best players or criteria. The coaches, I have conversation with coaches, and I won't call their names. And, you know, they still have these dated tactics where they pick players based on how they look and physicality. I did a thesis, folks, where I spoke about data and evaluating players, and I made a statement. If Messi and Ronaldo were in Trinidad and Tobago, or I remember this, folks, if Messi and Ronaldo were in our high school football in Trinidad and Tobago, the highest level they probably would have reached, I know Messi's a freak, but I'm being very honest here, they probably would have reached high school level, then played for some team, and then some coach would have benched them, because you know why? They would have said Ronaldo was too skinny, and Messi would have been too small and quiet. And oftentimes I've seen some very good players who have that composure, but they don't fit the quote-unquote what is a Trinidad and Tobago player. And it shows up. I'm not attacking these players right now, but it's clearly a problem. These are skillful players. Levi Garcia is a top player. There's a reason why he plays there. This is not a skill issue. This is a mental issue. Conceding that goal that gave them the second goal, that's a mental issue. A coach shouldn't have to tell you on the sideline that, hey, keep things tight, they're going to try to equalize. No coach should have to be shouting that on the sideline. You should know that. Players need to take some responsibility. I mean, we bash the coaches all the time, but players need to take some responsibility. They need to take some responsibility. So, guys, you know, I know this is very frustrating. I'm going to wrap the stream up in a couple seconds, but I am going to do a reaction. It's a little bit of a ceremony, I guess, the players. You know, we did go to equalize. I will do a reaction immediately. If you guys want to see the reaction, I could do that. I think Levi Garcia did well. He's one of our best players, but we need our other players to step up. I think a lot of pressure is on Levi, and, you know, everybody needs to step up. I think Bryce did great in the shootout, but there's a lot of things that I will dissect after the game. So, folks, you know, what do you think about the game? What do you think about how we played? Let me know your thoughts and suggestions about how we you know, you'd like the streams to be. I will be doing weekly episodes again, folks. I would like to see you all every week. I will be doing a reaction to this game. I could do one immediately now, folks, after this live stream, or I could do one a little bit later. I'm a little bit, my voice is a bit gone. So, folks, you know, Trinidad and Tobago drew 2-2, and we lost in a shootout. We got 2 goals from Levi Garcia. We did miss a lot of opportunities, and eventually in the end, unfortunately, Levi missed the penalty, and we had a couple misses. Both teams were terrible at the penalties, to be fair, and we lost on a shootout. So there are some positives. There are some positives in this game. It's not doom and gloom, but it would have been nice to win this game. It would have been nice to win this game. So, folks, you know, with that being said, I'm going to ask you all, before you go, to take a couple seconds out of your time to click like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. It really helps the channel. You can now purchase merchandise. It will be delivered to wherever you all are. It helps the channel. You can also make donations and so on to the channel. Super chats. I will have shows where you could do super chats and I can ask questions with myself and local celebrities, you know, football guys, personalities, Shaka Hislop, Kedwin Jones, these type of guys. You can have real chats. You all could chat with them in real time. So it's a two-way interaction on EXTV Live, which I'll be resuming. But you all have to let me know. Let me know what you want. I'll do that. I'll do one episode next week. But I will be doing a reaction to this game in a little while, folks. We could have won this game, yes, if you're just joining us. The game is done. For those of you who have been with us in the live stream, like I said, before you go, don't forget to follow us on all those socials, because when you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win prizes, jerseys, a copy of EAFC, possibly a jersey of your choice. The World Cup is coming up, so things like that. So you can let me know, folks. You can let me know. So like I said, folks, just a reminder, you know, we drew 2-2. We lost on penalties. We ended up at 1 point. I will be doing a reaction a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. You can check out. I may do one in a little while. I don't know. It depends on how my energy feels. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this particular game. and continue to support Extra Time TV. Everybody who woke up this morning, we had some fans from Gabon in the live stream. Let me know what you think about the coach, the players, everything else. Constructive and respectful, of course. Respectfully, of course. And, like I said, if you haven't subscribed before, please do so. It really helps the channel. Click like, click the notification bell, follow us on the socials. And when you do all those things and comment on the Instagram and so on, we have different types of content. You will get prizes. And like I said, I want to say congratulations to our last prize winner, a very loyal fan. We picked randomly, Mark Molino. He got this signed jersey from players from the Trinidad Tobago national team. And, our next giveaway will probably be a signed jersey or a jersey of your choice. Could be club, could be country. And, if you want, some people, if you want, I may even bring somebody to come to do a live show with me in the studio. So, folks, this was very painful. I know a lot of people are upset. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and suggestions below. And I will be doing a reaction shortly. So, folks, once again, it's an absolute pleasure. We do these live streams few and far between. But I will be resuming the EXTV episodes. Today, I may be doing a live stream of the Italy game, which is at 3 p.m. today because, I'm a fan of Syria. So with that being said, folks, everybody in the live stream, let me know your thoughts, suggestions, and comments. Gabon, listen, congratulations to Gabon. I'm seeing people, there are some people from Gabon in the live stream. Congratulations to you. You won. It was a crazy game. Fred Ngombe, am I pronouncing that correctly? Welcome. Wayne China Leong, waste of time. It was a hard one to take. It was a hard one to take, folks. That was a hard one to take. So like I said, folks, be sure to like and subscribe and support the channel. I will be having the EXTV live where I'll probably have Shaka Hislop, Kenwin Jones, a couple of people in studio live, and you could ask questions, and you could ask questions with the super chat. When you super chat, you could get a prize. Support the channel. Also, you could get to ask the viewers directly some questions. So, folks, I know this is pretty harsh. I woke up really early morning to do this game. Congratulations to Gabon, Trinidad Tobago. We have a lot of questions. And I will, when I calm down, I'll do a reaction to this game. So, folks, like I said before I go, everybody in the live stream, take a moment and click like, subscribe, click on the notification bell. We have interviews, not just live streams with people in the industry, both football, cricket, and esports in the Caribbean and all over the world. And I will be resuming EXTV live soon. So with that being said, folks, it's been an absolute pleasure. And let me know what other streams and content you would like to see. Yes, it was 2-2 who got bent, and I will be doing a reaction shortly. I have a lot of problems with how this game ended up, and I'll be talking about it in my reaction. So with that being said, folks, look out for the reaction, and I'll be doing a lot more content. And continue to subscribe and like and help the channel, folks. It really helps. It really helps. And I will be doing a weekly episode soon, folks. So for the new viewers and people from all over the world, from Ukraine, Gabon, and everybody else, thank you for joining us. Trinidad Tobago fans, thank you as well. And I will be seeing you all soon. Take care. And once again, my switcher didn't work, so I'm going to have to do it manually. Let's do that. Let's do that, folks.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Extra Time TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe.